Well, good evening and welcome to the Ham Radio Clubhouse.
What's up?
How are you guys?
What's
going on?
Had a little throwback in there, little Angus Young. That's the biggest ripoff of AC/DC I could find.
No, I was going to say, yeah. I think Highway to Hell started at least twice during that.
Yeah.
And then,
I knew I picked up something.
Chuck Berry would be a thing. He's all right.
It's your cousin Marvin. You know that new sound you've been looking for?
Listen to this.
Listen to this.
Oh, dude, I was watching that the other day, and the scene where they're in the car, where the band is in the car. I'm like, damn, if you did that today, you did that whole scene. Of
Absolutely.
Throwing Marty in the trunk, and then he's like, hey, beat it. This don't concern you. And he's like, who are you calling? I'm like, oh my God, you couldn't say that crap today.
No.
Wow.
This like you couldn't.
Unless you're Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, that's so true. Just like you totally couldn't have anything to do with Blazing Saddles or pretty much anything that what's his name? It totally escapes me.
Mel Brooks. Anything that it had to do with Mel Brooks was no.
Hold on.
Nothing you could do.
Hold on. Bar check. Behave yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
You got to
Come on,
recognize
Evan.
the super chat. You got
Come on, Evan.
Evan, thanks for the super chat. We'll recognize it. There you
Now
go.
behave yourself.
Some things stay in the dumpster fire. Okay?
Yeah.
That's right. There you go.
Did you see that picture I linked to you earlier, Shane?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
That was fantastic.
In the other
The other Discord, yes. The one that you have to request permission to enter. Because
we don't talk about it.
It's like Fight Club.
The first rule of
Discord.
NOB, we're going to call it NOB. The first
There you
rule
go.
of knob
Knob.
is you don't talk about knob.
Oh, that's classic.
Exactly. But man, it has been hot in Texas.
Damn right.
I don't know if it's been hot everywhere else. Joe, I'm sure
yeah.
you can appreciate the misery that we've had here. Molson, I don't know. Has it been hot up there for you guys?
Dude, it was hot on Saturday field day. It was stinking hot. It was crazy.
What do you what's
what's
considered hot?
Yeah.
Up there.
Yeah.
It's
Freedom
the
nuts.
it's the humidity with the heat. So it was
I agree.
I'd have to see what it was, but I know I was sweating.
Wait a minute. Where's humidity come from in Canada? We got the Gulf of Mexico. Where are you getting hot air from?
We got the Great Lakes.
Wisconsin.
All that hot air.
T.O. is in Wisconsin. That T.O. and John Cook are both in Wisconsin. I mean, that does make
Enough hot air right
sense.
there.
A lot of hot air there. T.O., we love you. But
So I'm looking at my watch right now. It is still 100 degrees at 7 p.m. Central Time, and with the heat index, that's 113 degrees in Texas.
Yep.
This is
not
not
that bad
normal.
here.
This is not normal. We should not be doing this. This is no.
You know, it's been a few, maybe 2 or 3 years, but you know, this is the kind of heat that I grew up in back in the 90s. So this is not abnormal either for Texas. So
I guess we haven't had that in a while.
we had a mild summer the last couple of years.
Yeah,
which means you're going to have an ice storm again this year.
I guess,
probably so.
I guess the heat caught COVID or something the last couple of years. So. But yeah, it's
the La Nina decided to stick around for a couple more years.
There you go.
yeah.
So Don N5SKTS, Shane, how many years have I been here? I have been on this earth for 44 years, and I have been in Texas for 42 years. So I spent 2 years outside of Texas, up in Tennessee. But I've seen the storm, the winter storms where you get waist high snow. I've seen where you freeze for a week. I've seen it all, Texas. Man, if you ever just want to figure out, what kind of climate you like, come down to Texas for a couple of years. You'll experience them all, and then just move to an area that has that climate predominantly.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah.
It was only like 2 or 3 or 4 years ago that they were going for a record. I say they were watching it, hoping that some people were hoping
Molson,
it
are
would
we
get
keeping you up? I'm sorry.
100 days of 100 degrees or more, and I think it stopped around like 94, 96 days.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like
We had
2018
that.
or
We had that
19.
5 or 6 years ago in
Yeah,
Texas.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, in
right
August,
here,
I think the
here.
entire month of August was like over 100 degrees.
It was over 100 degrees
For
for
the
like
entire
90,
month.
95 or 96 days in a row. And they were like, well, if it gets to 100, we have 100 days or 100 degrees. And I'm like, I'm not sure that's something to be proud of, but good job, Texas. So,
Wait a minute, Abe. Yes, I'm only 44. Jeez.
Well, how old is Ape? Because dogs are every 7 years. So where's Ape in his progression of how many dog years is
Yeah.
or 8 years?
how many ape
How many
years?
ape
How
years?
many ape
8
years?
years. Yeah.
Well, it's good to see a lot of familiar faces in the chat. Everybody in green, those are our channel members. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. We had a great giveaway last week. We had the Yaesu 710, which, according to the email, should have been delivered either today or yesterday. So, Brian, if you're in the chat, let us know if you got that. And Andy Cowley got the Yaesu FTM 500, which I got a message in there that said he had already received that radio and said he was going to be sending us some pictures from that. So fantastic news. Everybody has
Awesome.
gotten their things. There's some antennas that are going to go out. So I look forward to hearing from the folks that won the POTA packs. I want to see some pictures of them doing POTA whenever they get a chance to make it out there. So thank you all for being here. We got 78 in the chat. So let's just go around the horn. Steve, we'll start with you. You've been absent for probably 3-4 weeks now. So what's
2
been
weeks.
up with yourself? And before we head into the field day,
Yep. So I had family coming to town 2 weeks ago. Had to pick them up from the airport. Of course, they scheduled
at
us.
6.
No, they scheduled
I'm
a
sorry,
Southwest flight at 8:00 Eastern time.
Mm.
You know, and my
Blame
boy
it on
couldn't take
Southwest.
care. My boy couldn't take care of me and delay the flight. You know.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good at
That's
that.
right.
I only do that around Christmas.
Right. And then last week I ended up with a migraine. And this week I'm waiting on a phone call from a police officer. So
Yeah. Overlanding for fun. Thanks for becoming a YouTube member. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Do you want to expand upon that, or do you want
was gonna
to
say, are we just
rate
gonna
that
skip
for round
past that?
2? Or
Once
You know,
again,
yeah.
Steve brings us right to the edge.
he's like, but I'm not
You
going to tell
know,
no. See, you drop it, you just roll right on by it.
you. I
No,
didn't.
here-
I haven't
here-
moved on. I was
I
waiting on
know.
you to finish.
So I was trying to be a nice guy and help out a friend, and I loaned him my car.
I think you need to clarify that a little bit more.
a friend,
Well,
a friend?
a co-worker of my wife's.
co-worker.
There you go.
There, yeah.
But they damaged both sides of the Malibu.
Were they going backwards through the Starbucks drive-through?
Were they going through the car wash with that diamond mount on the back? I'm looking at
Mhm.
antennas.
And I
Yeah.
want to say, before you get started, Brian just said in the chat he got his radio today, so he got the 710. Brian, I want to see pictures, videos, whatever you want to do. We want to see you guys put that radio in action. Anyway,
I want to see him on the spotter page for POTA.
Right.
Yes.
What I want to see.
Hell yeah, that's
I want
right.
to work him.
I just want to see him using the radio. I didn't win.
So Yaesu has not to sidetrack anybody, but for the 710, Yaesu has a portable radio pack coming out for the 710.
Oh,
Oh,
That
to
was
know.
just sort of a little.
maybe
bit,
John should come and talk to us about that since
Maybe
we're
he
giving
should, yeah.
giving away.
Jason,
his
are you
radios like that.
speculating, or is this really happening?
Dang.
I tell you what, Molson.
You heard it here first, folks.
The inside information.
I tell you what, Molson. If I'm speculating, then
You'll buy me a beer.
yeah, I'll buy you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to think of what
That's
you
an
can
easy
buy
one.
me that might be worth it.
A pickle beer.
I'll send,
I mean,
I'll send you a can of maple syrup.
he'll
How
send
about
you a
that?
pack of the Canadian cigarettes that's got the death wish on the outside of the package.
Wow.
No filter.
Okay.
Hey, hold
terrible.
on. You know how much a can of maple syrup costs
In
Like
the
real
U.S. or
maple
in
syrup?
Canada?
in
I
Canada?
bet you it's
And
expensive.
anywhere.
I bet you it's
Whereas, okay, how much is it in Canada?
It depends on
Let's
the
go
year.
with like 16 ounces.
Like,
Let's
like
go
if
do
I
you
were-
know they have
16
maple syrup reserves?
Oh, I'm sure.
Do you know that? Like
I
they
believe
have
it.
like. Anyways, let me see what the current rate is. But it's
Sorry.
you
So
know,
while you're doing that, I'm going to pull it up at Kroger because I bet you it's more expensive here than it is
So
there.
you're telling me preserves are maple syrup deep down in the bowels of the earth in the cave in a lock because in case the world
No, they
ends,
literally.
we
You know how
still
you guys have
maple
like
syrup.
your oil reserves that you guys have
Yes,
that are
yes.
half empty right now.
Earl.
Like
Yeah, Earl.
they literally they have maple syrup reserves. Like and
I have cigars stored away too.
It's about it's $9.50 for half a liter. For 540 milliliters, it's $10 pretty much for maple syrup. So that thing is
But that's on your side of the line. You come over here, that stuff gets jacked up by 5.
That's on your side of the radio.
Yeah,
so that's like 80. That's like $80 a gallon. Okay.
All right, so here we go. I'm gonna pull this up.
That was shameless, Shane. That was very
shameless.
shameless. That was shameless.
Let's present. Share my screen. You know, you think I would be good at this.
I wonder if
already.
it's real maple syrup, not this
bet
this like Aunt Jemima stuff and stuff.
Look at that.
All sugar.
32 ounces. So isn't that a liter?
32 ounces is $21.99.
Dude, that's a very good price because I used to sell this stuff. I used to sell Maple Grove Farms. And we used to take family road trips up to Vermont and New Hampshire. That is a steal.
Okay,
I can
so
remember that stuff
Jason,
being like $50-$60.
Jason, if you're right, I'll send you some Canadian maple syrup. That's the deal.
All right,
You were supposed to send me some.
I'll do that.
Keep
Put it in
waiting
the
for
same. Put it in the same package.
that. There you go.
It'll save you on shipping.
Price, probably.
Anyways, I want to hear about Steve's horrible coworker. Tell us.
Yeah. Well, because there may be litigation coming, I gotta be careful
Might
what I
wanna
say.
preface this.
But I haven't gotten the
Yeah.
full story on what exactly happened, other than
I can speculate.
well, I can pull up the court record.
I bet it had to do with a bottle of something.
I was told one thing, and turned out to be a different incident.
Yeah, no.
I'm waiting to find out if there's an actual accident report involved. But
We call that hard maple syrup, Steve.
Yes.
well,
So can I
will
fast
say
forward and just say that
a 0.1 in South Carolina.
So 0.08 in Texas is
Allegedly.
not
Just
going to
gotta
happen.
preface that, you
That's
know?
not going to
Well,
fly. So if you're at a
That's per
0.1,
public record, it was below 0.1 because that's
Okay.
where the charge changes.
oh, it goes from a misdemeanor to a felony.
No, it's not a felony until you actually kill somebody.
Oh, okay.
At least in South Carolina.
All right.
Oh, thank goodness.
I think.
Oh, wow.
Well, you're here
okay.
first, folks. If you
But-
want to drink,
well,
drive it.
That's what I don't know is what was hit with my vehicle.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was drive-through at Whataburger or Wawa or something.
That was White
And they backed
Castle.
If I
up
had
because they
either.
forgot a hamburger in their bag.
Wait,
That's what it was. They were angry,
If I had either, I would be okay with that.
right?
Just
I
a
am-
thought.
I am getting a Whataburger though. It's going to be
What?
up in the upstate, but I will
Nice.
make a trip.
What color is the bumpers of the patrol cars in that local area?
God, you're an asshole.
Was there
God,
a
you're an
pit?
asshole.
Was there a pit involved?
It still
There's
drives
cameras.
normal.
There's
Okay.
cameras everywhere, but there's
No, yeah.
cameras. Everybody has a camera.
Except where you need 'em.
Everyone's-
But at 3 a.m., you're not going
Yeah.
to see the video on a black car.
Right. Well, Joe Brad, I don't know if you've had quite as an entertaining few days or week as Steve has, but how you been, buddy? We'll get to field day shortly, but how? Other than that, how you been?
I've been doing well, Shane. Thanks for asking. Anything else?
No, that was it. Man,
That's all
man,
you
a few
gotta
That's
say.
words.
par for the course, man.
We did have a little excitement that turned out a little worse for somebody than Steve today.
Somebody
so,
went to jail.
yeah,
well,
eventually,
that's what happened to the driver of my vehicle. Too.
after he got medically released, and it was wild. Like talking about cameras. So I'm sitting here.
Taser.
I'm going through town and stopping at all these businesses. I'm tracking this guy through video cameras that stole a John Deere Gator.
Really?
Top speed, what, 10, 12 miles an
10.
hour?
Yeah.
He
8
took
on a
this.
good day.
He took this thing on the interstate.
I'm in high speed pursuit.
So
Wow.
Buford
I've-
T. Justice.
I've got him getting off the interstate into town, which
Junior,
is
hold my hat.
at speed limit speeds, that's almost a 10-minute trip itself. So it takes him an hour to go 12 miles. But I've got him getting off the interstate, going in front of this one business. Then I went to a gas station down the road, got him cruising on past that one. Go to another business, got him go. I'm like, this son of a gun's going directly through the middle of town.
Through town, yeah.
He's driving
Through-
home, right?
The main road through town, yes. And
Brian
nobody saw anything.
Brian says, was he listening to George Jones? No, he was listening to She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy. I bet.
She
I'm
thinks my
thinking
gator's
Jerry.
sexy.
I'm thinking Jerry Reed, but I do like that one better.
She
yeah.
thinks my tractor. I think that's
He's
old
bound and
Kenny.
down.
That's old Kenny
Bound and
Chesney, if
down.
I'm not mistaken. But, yeah.
So
It is Kenny.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Joe, you must really think twice and 3 times about doing a pit maneuver on like a gator, because you're pretty guaranteed to send him to the hospital.
I think you just wait for him to drive by and jump on with him,
You're chasing.
Hold on, I'm gonna hop
Where are we
out
going
the back.
today, son?
I'm gonna
You,
hop
you
out the
must
back
have at
door.
least you guys must have at least one cop who can run 12 miles an hour. Like, what's up, son? What are you doing?
He's gonna take that drone and go. I'm gonna land this on your head if you don't pull over.
yeah.
I would have took the guy from Public Works there, Department of Public Works. Get off that lawn tractor. Let's go. We're gonna chase him.
Right.
I mean, keep it. Come on.
So the fun part began when I'm sitting here at a local business and I'm waiting my turn in line to talk to the guy that can talk to me about the cameras, and he's sitting there. Finally, it's my turn, and I'm sitting there, and he's explaining to me pretty much, we can't access them here. We have to call corporate. All this. I'm like, okay. When my radio starts going off, people's talking very excitedly. So I'm listening. We got a pursuit. I thought it was Jim. It started at the Alabama state line.
Was he swearing? Because if it was Jim, it was definitely swearing.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of beeps. But
God, babes.
so yeah, this thing started a little over an hour away at the state line, and it was coming to us. And you don't get through our town if you come. It just doesn't happen.
Joe Brett's like, nope.
Oh, it
Sorry,
does.
sorry, son.
The best way I could explain it, it was
Stops
kind
right
of.
here.
I told somebody today is because like officers in other jurisdictions will tell people, "Oh, you screwed up going that way."
Note to self: if you're gonna run from the cops, and don't go through New Albany,
Sheriff.
Mississippi.
It's
They got
Is
this sheriff. No, excuse me for a minute. You know what they're saying? They got this sheriff over here, Sheriff Joe. He looks nice, but be afraid.
Yeah, be very afraid.
And you know it goes out on that PD Snapchat, and then it hits the public Snapchat.
Oh yeah.
It's all over the Reddit, and it's all over what's all the Yelping and all this other stuff, Joe. You are all over the place. You're
Just not on TikTok.
you're at the Sunoco.
He's on
Yes,
TikTok.
people are people go and get in their barbecue chicken and their bag of ice and maybe a 24 pack of Miller Lite, and they're like, "Did you hear about that sheriff in the next county?"
Yeah.
Go in there, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so see, I mean, best way to explain it, it's like the recess bell going off, after a long day
Right.
at school. And yeah, so he made it to about the middle of town, and then he done a bunch of spins and a bunch of flips, and
What happened? The belt on
And,
the
and
other.
Joe Brett said, "Nope."
yeah,
How much
I was-
damage on the Tahoe?
Yep.
I did. I saved a Tahoe. One of the guys' Tahoe. Of course, I don't know why they park in the grass after running 140 miles an hour. Things are
That's
hot.
right. They're hot.
Right.
That catalytic converter is smoking red.
So I'm approaching. I'm a little late because I'm trying to get out of this business and jump in. And as I'm approaching, I hear one of the other guys going, "Your Tahoe's on fire! Your Tahoe's on fire!" Just screaming it. And all I see is black smoke in there, just everywhere. And I'm like,
Well,
And this-
shit.
Oh,
this was our K9 unit. So I was like,
oh no.
Pop the
there
door.
was 2 separate wrecks. All right, I blew past the first one because I'm thinking the dog still is in there. I'm trying to get to it to move it. And
Save the dog, absolutely.
luckily, the dog was not present at the time, so
Good.
he was okay. But moved it out of the grass. Everything's good. Yeah, quite interesting. It ended right in front of the Cracker Barrel, so everybody got a dinner and a show for lunch.
Oh man, I love Cracker Barrel.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, that is some good rib stick and home cooking, make you feel good meal stuff.
Oh man,
Come on,
You walk,
south.
you walk out about 7 pounds a little heavier, but that's all right. Who cares?
But it's
It's
good.
good stuff.
It's
good
good.
stuff.
Different.
They
It is
have
good stuff.
they have free parking for overnight camping at most locations. A lot of the overlanders do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you get a good breakfast the next morning.
Hell yeah, gravy, all that gravy. Hell yeah. I know.
Izzo, buddy.
So what?
Oh, you're not
Well,
done.
well, he's not done. I want to hear. How did you apprehend How did Barney Fife get this?
Oh, I didn't. Somebody else did. So I got back in my air conditioner vehicle.
The young guy, the new guy from the academy.
It went the other way.
You
But
okay there, Izzo?
There's a lot less paperwork that way.
He inhaled.
exactly.
I'm thinking.
I got back in my car and I went back to looking for videos of the gator going down the road. But
Did you do hashtag Gator Mississippi on Twitter?
Yeah, missing gator.
I better
Hashtag
be on
missing
there.
gator.
Missing
I
Gator.
can see the
Gator.
boss man in the
Missing
morning.
gator.
Why the hell is Gator Mississippi trending on Twitter?
Well,
I don't know.
He's a fan of the show, so it's okay.
yeah.
Well, you want to know
exactly.
why? Because Field Day was back on Friday or Saturday, and hashtag I don't want to recognize you on the HF bands. It just gets old. So we got to have something new. We got to have something new to,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
true.
to hashtag.
Talking about
My-
something new, I want to end my little segment here with bringing to the attention of the audience and to Jason that we did not wait 30 minutes through intros to bring him our guest on tonight.
Yeah,
So
he was right. He was front and center.
that was pointed out in a show I seen recently.
It
So,
was.
The Mike Liam
And
station. What?
I honestly think this is the longest Joe Brett segment we have had in 2
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
I'm willing
So,
to give up
uh,
my time. I want him to keep talking. Just keep talking. This is great.
And I ain't got nothing but some sweet tea tonight, man. I can't prove it because it's still brown, but
Right. Well, mine's clear, so that's water.
yeah, has it got bubbles like last week?
And well, it's got bubbles, but doesn't mean it's leaded.
Ooh, feisty blonde.
All right, yeah, I yield.
Oh.
Okay.
Izzo, how was your how you been, buddy? We're not jumping into Field Day yet. We just want to see how you been.
I'm looking at the clock. I really want to donate my time up to Joe Brett. See if he has anything more going.
We still got Molson to go to, and you
I
know how
know.
many stories he's got.
And Molson's internet is working right
I-
now. This is what's going to happen when
For
we
sure.
when we go to him.
Exactly. Yeah.
Smoking a Tatawai Grand Kunjung, great
Ooh,
Nicaraguan
that's a
guy.
good
This-
cigar.
Yeah, those are good.
This is one of those damn good cigars. Costs a few extra bucks, man, but it's kind of worth it, man. Life.
That's
is
what,
too
$10
short.
bucks up there? $9, $10, $8
No,
bucks?
it's about 12ish, maybe.
Okay.
11, 12. But that's
And that's
okay,
a good
man.
45 minutes to an hour smoke, though.
Oh, easy.
Easy. Yeah.
Easy. But I get laughing here with you guys, and sometimes I start hitting it too hard. So,
Yeah. If you hit the floor, we know that's
right,
what happened.
Right. Listen, no disrespect to my kids. You all know I love my kids. I'll do anything for my kids. But this has been one crazy month of kid stuff.
Yo,
That-
it's only
that
going to get
I-
worse, buddy.
But I kind of I can't wait for July 1, actually July 2 to go normal. And, Mike's got the La Gloria, another great cigar, guys. Guys, check that out. That Series R. Anyway,
We need to have a cigar show at some point.
we should do a cigar
Anyway.
show.
We're gonna
But
do it.
it's-
We're gonna do it down in Cleburne, Shane.
Oh, yeah. That'd be
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Or do
Do
it
it
in
from
Galveston
Huntsville.
while we're all in Galveston.
We could, yeah. That's gonna be a thing as well. So
Okay.
go ahead,
Um,
Izzo. Sorry. Hey,
no.
I got
Go-
the floor.
go-
I got the floor. We worked
Take it.
Izzo at Field Day. There's a field
After I
day.
left?
Yep.
Damn
Here's
it.
what. No. Say the
Yeah.
story. I
It
want to
was
say
Frank,
the story.
So it only halfway counted because it was Frank. But yeah,
Say
Frank
the
actually
story.
got his,
I'll
Yeah,
throw the
yeah,
I'll
save
throw
it.
the
it's in
the,
Frank's video.
I'll throw the
Okay.
link to Frank over here in about 15 minutes. We'll get Frank over here also.
What else is going on?
Oh.
He went
I'm
up to
prepared.
Starbucks.
I've been doing some work. Kevin K0KLB, Mr. QRP out there in Iowa, he sent me a shovel many months ago. I've been doing some work about how do I want to mount.
How do I bury the body?
No.
I'm
This
sorry.
is different. No, this is different. No. Oh, dude, we did that when we were younger. Oh, please.
I mean, it is Connecticut. That's
Oh,
close.
please.
That's close enough to New York.
Please. Oh, please. Just
Concrete
because
shoes.
my last name has a vowel in it. But let's not go there. I've been looking at how am I going to get this antenna on the air. I've been doing some homework. And I'm thinking about doing when we go live sometime in maybe July, later towards the month, maybe early August. I may do this right here on the show. And I got to just work out the logistics of who's going to hold the camera and all that kind of stuff. But I have some ideas, and I want to thank Kevin for Kevin's been a big QRP inspiration to me, as well as many other guys and everything. So just hanging out here tonight, man. Just having a good cigar. And I said I wasn't going to come on tonight. Hell, I'm glad I lied and came on.
Yeah,
tonight.
we're glad you're here too, man.
Oh, thank you. All right, Molson, quick.
Molson,
your
it's up to you,
your
buddy.
internet's working. Hurry up.
So
How you
I was just distracted. I was looking at a slideshow that I have, a very special slideshow, and I
Did it come
somewhat
from
think I
Twitter?
might want to do a Molson rant tonight, but I'm not too sure. I might get myself in trouble.
Yes,
But
you
I
will.
had a great weekend at Field Day. It was awesome. I know we're going to talk about that, so I don't want to take too much time. Yeah, I don't got much else to say. It was hot, and that's Canadian hot. Like
So it was 80 degrees.
so like 80 degrees and 90% humidity. That's serious.
I would take 80 degrees and 90% humidity than 103 degrees and 90% humidity, where it makes it 120 outside.
Really?
All right.
I'll take that
All right.
all day long.
All right, Molson, you have cows, right?
Yeah.
Have the cows been sitting down or have they been standing a lot?
I haven't.
Because-
Well, so on Field Day, my wife called me. My wife called me. I think it was like 10 o'clock
Oh,
at
here we go.
night, and
Expect
she's
the
like,
story.
"There's a cow out." I'm like, "Well, good
Oh,
luck."
no.
I'm
Just
at
kill
Field
it.
Day.
Well, good luck.
Looks like we're gonna have
But
steaks next
Field
week.
Day
Call
was-
Joe Brett. Call Joe Brett. He'll get it for you.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Field Day was literally 4 minutes from my house. I was like, "Well, what do you want me to do? You got all the kids there except for my youngest, Nathan." And so my daughter went out. And my wife calls me back. She goes, "It's not our cow." So I was like, "Okay." So I'll let the cow go. She's like, "I can't. Someone's gonna hit it with their car." So
So how do you
anyways,
know? Do you have like
Yep.
the ears
Beef, that's what
tagged
for
or
dinner.
something?
we have tags, but
Yeah.
when you go in, you check and your cows are all in. The next day,
When you
You
only
still-
have 5, and when you go check, there's 4, and no one's missing.
yeah, exactly.
Do you
The
still have
next
to
day,
brand them? Do you still have to brand them? You know, with a special letter or like?
no, you-
No, it ruins the meat.
Well,
It's the maple leaf.
I was just gonna say, what's your symbol?
That way you
That-
know it's a Canadian cow.
Right. What's your symbol? The Molson symbol.
I don't have a brand. Okay, if that's what you're asking. I don't-
Yes.
The VA3 SDO. That's the
your
brand.
symbol.
You don't stick it inside the bonfire and
No, I don't. I don't get a hot whatever and brand them.
put it on the heads of that freaking.
I'm not
Zamboni?
that serious with my with my farming. So, yeah.
Well, you're freaking on them. What the hell's the difference? You might as well go the whole way.
There you go.
You put an
Or
ear
like-
tag with a number on it. You know.
What's that say?
So-
That's his brand. Says WBWL with the bars across the top of it. We build, we learn.
So yeah. Anyways, I don't
So
have.
if you see a WBWL cow out, you know where it's supposed to go.
Okay, fine.
I want to see the memes. I want to see the memes, guys. Let's go.
Fine.
Get going. Cows are running.
All right, Jason, buddy. Other than Field Day, how are things been? What's new? We haven't spoken to you in a little while.
It's been a while. Yep. So I appreciate the invite. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've moo, eh? Moo, eh? Just trying to stay cool, really.
It's Texas,
Gotta-
man,
yeah.
in the summertime.
Yeah. So
It's terrible.
I got a couple things upcoming, not anything that I really want to divulge yet, but tomorrow on my email list, I will be announcing a new sale that was kind of my idea today that I spoke to Gigaparts about. So it's not any huge special radio for discount. So it's a radio accessory, not a radio. But yeah, I'll be announcing that tomorrow on my email list, and then later on YouTube.
Would it happen to be one of those devices that lets you put your 7300 onto a live stream?
No,
No.
it is not that.
Apparently,
Although
that's
I
coming
I have one of those, but it's not the same one that he has.
from.
I don't think.
Will
it's
it
the same.
will it allow you to make contacts with people who you don't want to acknowledge?
The Mike Lima station.
All you need to do for that is put up like a non-resonant antenna. I don't know, put up a random wire and forget to tune it. You know, that'll do it. So
Turn the mic gain down to 0.
yeah.
Just Carlos antenna.
Yep.
Yeah, use a
Carlos.
dummy load.
Use a dummy load.
Use a dummy load.
What's up,
Dummy
Jason?
load has
So,
flat VSWR.
No, it's all good. I appreciate you guys letting me come on tonight.
Hey, Jason, you know what I did pick up? It came in yesterday. The Rhinology solar panels. That whole.
Yeah.
I can't wait to open that box up and start playing with that. It's something. I said I'm not going to buy another antenna. I've got plenty of antennas here. Heck, I got a shovel I can make into antenna. But I'm going to play. I'm going to play with the solar power stuff.
It's really cool.
I'm thinking yes. So,
And that's a great transition into field day.
well, I watched Jason's video, and I think that video may be from last year, maybe, or Winter Field Day. I think
It was Winter Field Day, yeah.
Winter Field Day, and I probably watched it like 15, 20 times already, and I get more out of every time. So, thank you.
It's
Scout
yeah,
75.
Scout 75 hit the nail.
Scout
on the head.
says
Yeah.
there turns out there's a fun YouTuber filter
Yeah.
on the
Oh,
7300.
7300.
So
yeah.
some people have it, and some people don't. It's
We can't-
Very simple.
We can't be having fun on ham radio, guys. It's not allowed.
No,
It's
you
not
said the
allowed.
F word.
Oh,
No, those solar panels are great. I've been having a lot of fun with solar stuff lately. Which everybody knows this already, but we have no facilities or grid or running water out at the hunting lease. It's completely boondocked out there. So we have RVs, obviously, with generators running the air conditioner. I mean, you got to be able to sleep at night. That's just,
Thank
there's just
God.
that. But with with the radio setup and everything, we had a lot of solar running this weekend. A lot of battery boxes. I was reminded of Charlie coming up to the camper at Hamvention. He walks over, and because we're hanging out at the camper off and on all during Hamvention, he walks over. He's like, "Do you have a place?" He goes, "Do you have a place I can charge my phone?" And he looks over. He's like,
Never mind.
"Hey,
Never
do you
mind.
mind if I?" I'm like, "Dude," I'm like, Mike and I, especially Mike, we don't play around with battery. We had literally like 7 battery boxes sitting on a table in front of my trailer. And Charlie's like, "Do you mind if I use a plug?" I'm like, "That's what they're there for, bro. Let's go."
Did we ever get a final count of how much total solar capacity and total battery capacity we had at the deer lease this weekend?
You know, I didn't even count.
You guys, please calculate that sometime. That would be fun.
I can tell you
That-
real quick.
It was
Hold on,
enough to run a small community.
I can tell you what it was real quick. I can tell you the solar panels that we had.
Well,
It was,
so Mike had a 300 amp hour battery
Yes.
that we were running off of.
300 amp hours.
Wait, hold on.
Hold
guys
on,
in the
it
chat.
gets better.
Wait, guys in the chat. Start putting your numbers in there. How many ampere hours do you think these guys totally had? Start putting some
So
numbers in the
the
chat.
EcoFlows, those two daisy chain, that was 6,000 amp hours.
Yeah. Correct.
So
Okay.
we're at
I'm
6,000.
No.
we're-
6,000 watt hours.
Okay, so
6,000
what does
watt
that turn out to be in amp hours?
It's 6,048 divided by 12.
Okay, hold on.
Oh,
I
we
guess
It's
don't
not
do
exactly
math. We
12
don't do
volts.
math
It's like
here.
12.8
12,
volts,
yeah.
but you can divide it by.
While you're doing your math, can I ask a question? Can you super chat just 10 cents on YouTube?
No, you can't.
I don't think so. No.
Because I was going to say we should encourage people to donate 10 cents for the 0.1 fundraiser for the bodywork on Steve's car.
Yeah, there you go. That's okay. So 6,000 watt hours at 12 volts, which we know it's 13.6 or 12, but whatever. That's 500 amp hours on that on those two packs.
Just on the EcoFlow.
Yeah.
Just
So
on
now
the
we're
EcoFlow.
at 800 amp hours. Not to mention the other small boxes that were around there, all that had like 20s and 15s and 10s and 5s. So I'll bet you, truth be told, everything in there, we probably had 800 or 900 amp hours worth of lithium.
I was going to say
1,000.
1,000. I was going to say 1,000, and I didn't know if I was like way off or you know.
Yeah, look at that.
Are they RF quiet?
Okay, so the thing on the right of that picture is my Wave 2 portable battery powered air conditioner,
Which is cool, by the way.
which we did not get to test. It does not work well in a gazebo that is being beat by the sun all day.
I was gonna say,
fair.
which
yeah.
is
Fair
not
is fair.
which is not really supposed to. I mean, it's really made for your overlanding trailers that don't have a built-in AC. So
Right.
more testing to come on that later. The two on the left there is the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max system, and those are 2,048 watt hours each. I think it is. So we had 4,000. Yeah, and you can add a second battery for another 2,000 for a total of 6,000 if you want to. Those are, if you turn on the inverter and plug in an AC, they're a little bit noisy. But then you move like 10
Right.
feet away from them, and
It's
you can't
not
hear
bad.
anything. So
Okay.
it's not that bad. I have yet to find a power station, solar generator, whatever the heck you want to call it, that is completely RF quiet. I've yet to
I
find
agree.
one.
I agree.
Um,
Now, what's the duration running that right now with that AC unit? What's your duration? Do you know?
Dude, I
How long
ran
can
that
That
thing
ran all day.
It ran all day. Those two batteries ran all day. Charged up the AC. At night, I fired up the first night, Friday night, I fired up the generator to charge the two EcoFlow, the Delta 2 Max overnight. And then it ran for a day and a half. I didn't charge it Saturday night. It ran for a day and a
very
half
good.
after that. So
Wow. Very good.
yeah. So it's gonna be. I've got some plans for that to use it for some cool stuff. So
Here you go. Winner,
it's,
winner.
yeah. But I like Mike. Mike's setup was really cool. He had the expansion pack. He's done a video on his channel. You guys can go find that about his big geek box. And I was just looking at some battery stuff in my garage today, and I'm like, you know what? I think I might get Mike on the channel one of these days and say, let's do that with my box over here. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
he built me a Mega Geek box that is pretty freaking cool, and I've got to try to do that. But yeah, I mean, I like the challenge of running off grid. I enjoy the challenge of running off grid to charge via the sun, which is free. I'm going out in my driveway and charging batteries when my wife's out. She's like, "What are you doing? Just plug it in." I'm like, "This is free." She's
Yeah,
like,
we don't have to pay for that.
We pay our electric bill every month. It's okay. I'm like, yeah.
But
there's
it's
no
also just
challenge in
gonna
that.
but it's still the fun of it, isn't it, Jason? It's
It
just
is the fun of it.
Fun
It
of
is
it.
the
That's
fun of
right.
it.
We're men.
And
We're men. It's what men do.
And it's also like, it's also like practice, because you go out, because I better understand now how long it takes to charge a 100 amp hour or 200 amp hour battery with this
That's
panel or
right.
that panel or that panel. Because if I just take that panel and put it put it in the attic or something and break it out twice a year, I'm like, well,
No.
I think it'll do this, but heck, I use that thing all the
No.
time, man. So
Well, it was
yeah, it's just,
interesting when we were at the More Expo. I had my little, I think it's a 300 amp hour, 300 watt hour battery box. And when I put that one panel on it, I charged my phone and everything overnight, and it was down to like 70 or something %.
yeah.
And then I put that 160 watt panel up. And by the time we were done walking around the show and got back to the trailer, everything was 100% charged.
Yeah.
Like a couple hours, 2, 3, 4 hours,
Yeah.
and everything was that battery box was completely charged.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's always I always learn something interesting when I go to field day with Jason and Mike and all those guys. The fact that that solar, I mean, if you daisy chain enough stuff together, like that hard panel that Jason's got, or the 300 amp hour or watt hour battery, the 300 power.
Yep.
I cannot think.
You got it, buddy.
The power film. It's three. I know
Oh, the
it's
power
300
film. Yeah.
Yes,
I just shared that screen.
Yeah. So I mean,
So
if you were
this sucker right here, now it's $800. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's $800. This is the gigaparts version of it. You can save a 5% discount with the code KC5HWB. So
there you go.
seriously, you
That's
can.
a pretty
Seriously, you
big
can.
discount
Yeah,
for
so
that price.
that's $40 off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For a power film that size, it's going to be $1,500.
Right.
That thing
Oh,
is
yeah.
freaking cool,
Right.
man.
And it's super efficient.
They sent me that to test. Yes, it is super efficient. They sent me that to test. And at the end of like a month, they're like, "Hey, we need to get our stuff back." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not sending this back to you. I'm like, sending me a bill." And I paid for it. They didn't charge me retail, but I paid for that because I'm like, this panel is freaking awesome. So it's a great panel, and it folds up to 16 by 20-ish size,
Yeah.
like that. And it's heavy. It's not, you're not going to put that in a backpack and hike up a mountain. It's just not going to happen. But that thing, you plug it into the truck, to your battery in the truck. You have a secondary battery system in the truck or your RV, and you just lay it out on the roof. That's what I was telling Frank over the weekend. I was like, what I do is I put this thing on the hood of my truck and roll it up over the front windshield, and it acts as a sun barrier to block the sun, like a windshield barrier to block the sun out of my cab too.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
So and
And
then
it's
it
that
charges my
fluorescent
battery.
orange.
Yeah.
It's rescue
Yeah.
me orange.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's a very they have a 150 watt version that I really like. They sent me all three. They have a 60, 150, and a 300. I did not keep the 60. I kept the 150 and the 300. I did pay for those panels. Again, it wasn't retail. They made me a deal on them. But
Sure.
But they're I like both of those. They work very well, and I've just had a lot of fun just kind of seeing what they would do, just kind of testing them out.
All right, let me
Yeah.
ask you a question. Let me and doesn't matter. We're not going to talk manufacturer. We're not going to talk distributor. We're not going to talk sales.
You
Let's
okay
just
there,
talk
Steve?
power.
Yep.
You okay, Steve?
Oh yeah.
60, Jason. With your experience so far,
Yeah.
Is 60, is 100 better than a 60? Is it 200 better? I know everyone's needs are going to be different, but let's just kind of talk just in general here. General.
Well, okay, so you guys know I'm not much of a QRP guy. Okay, so if all you want to do is charge your phone and your little 3 or 4 amp hour Bioenno for your QRP station, a 60 watt's going to be plenty. 40, 60
more
watt
than
panel's
enough, right? Right.
Yeah. I don't, QRO or go home. I love the guy's T-shirt at Hamvention that said 1,500 watts minus 1 equals QRP. And I'm like, this guy's my new hero right here.
Yeah.
I walked up
There you
behind him and I just followed him for like 30 seconds. He heard us
Perfect.
talking behind him. He turned around. I'm like, I got you on video, dude. That shirt is awesome. So, I have gotten to the point where I've gotten so many solar panels, a lot of them sent to me, that if it's less than 100 watts, I don't keep it. I either give it away. I think I gave Shane. Did you take one?
Nope.
Either Shane.
I got the
okay.
260 watts from EcoFlow.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
so they sent me a 60 and then they accidentally shipped me a second 60.
That's right.
So I bought the cable to put them together. So I have
You
120,
got 120
watts.
now. Yeah. Good.
So I have 120 watts to
Right.
to charge my battery.
I think I gave one to Frank or something, but I've got a 60 and an 80 watt. I've got an 80 watt Renogy, I think it is, and a 60 watt EcoFlow, and I'm just like, I don't use these. So, So somebody local who wants that, let me know. I'll be happy. And Frank, I think Frank took one. I think he took one. But
Because I bought the 200 watt. I said, I'm going to try 200 watts. Let me just see.
200 watt Renogy,
Yeah.
the suitcase
Yeah.
with the built-in charge controller,
Yeah.
that thing is freaking cool.
Oh, it's
man.
it fits
Yeah, I told you,
fantastic.
watch
Yeah.
it.
freaking cool.
Watching your
Yes.
video, man, I kept going
Yeah.
to other, looking at other stuff, and people were having
Mm.
problems with this and that. And I said,
Yeah.
you know something, I want, because I trust you and many others who
Thank you.
in my circle of friends. Your reviews are I mean, you're not trying to sell something. There's no upsells. There's no, you didn't do something stupid like, throw a sledgehammer to it and say, it came in broke. If Frank banged into it, Frank banged into it. Okay, that's
Yeah,
how I look
yeah.
at it. And,
Right.
and if it's still standing, that's a good. That's
Yeah.
No, but seriously, I'm very particular on my reviews because I take a lot with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
With people who I don't know.
There's a lot of people that will just say they'll tell you what you want to hear, but not what you need to hear.
Yeah.
There you
'Cause
go.
There's
Correct.
things in these reviews that you need to hear that you don't necessarily get to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of that. The first couple of radio reviews I did, I told everybody the good stuff and not much of the bad stuff because I didn't want a negative review on my channel.
Right.
And now that I've kind of grown a little bit, I'm like, no, if it's crap, it's crap, and I'm going to tell you it's crap. And if the manufacturer doesn't like it, I don't care.
Right.
Don't send me any more stuff.
Right.
And there is a manufacturer that won't send me more stuff because I told them their stuff's crap.
So you guys are talking about battery and solar, and I just reminded me of field day when I left. I left at like 1:30 in the morning, and one of the Kenwood radios that they had there wasn't working properly. So I brought my 950, and I left at like 1 in the morning. I get back at 8 o'clock in the morning, and the guy
Wow, look at you.
the guy is still up. The guy who I left, he was there all day. He's still operating at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Nice.
Anyways, and he goes to give his call sign. He's a Victor for the call sign for the club. I forget what it is. I said it like 1,000 times, but anyways, Victor Echo 3, whatever. And he goes, 2, click, click. The radio shuts off. and then the radio comes back on, and the guy's like, "Give me your section in class again," and he's like, 2 click click. So then
no.
so I'm like, he's like, "What's wrong with your radio?" I said, "It's the battery. Did you plug it in?" He goes, "No." So then he finished the contact by saying, "Alpha click click." Oscar, click, click. November, click, click. Echo, click, click. And the guy's
That's
like,
ham and
okay,
harder. Ham harder.
That's
he's
ham
like,
harder.
he's like 2 Alpha, Oscar, November, Echo. He's like, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then it was done.
Roger.
And we had to switch the battery out. But it would have been good, preventative or whatever to get a proper solar and battery setup. But yeah, you guys talking about that.
So we are 45 minutes into the stream tonight, and let's switch gears, talk about Field Day, because there's 117 people that are anxiously waiting to hear about Field Day. So I will save myself for last in my experience. But Steve, Field Day 2023, did you go? Did you stay at home? Did you go out with the club, or kind of what did you do for your Field Day?
So I was out with my club, the local club that I'm vice president of. And we actually had the trailer up and operational.
Oh, nice.
Good.
That's the one you guys have been building on, right?
Yep, we've been building that.
Working on it.
I'm working on the videos. It's just I haven't had a whole lot of time.
That's okay. We understand.
We were a 3 Alpha, so we had one station pretty much running strictly CW because we had a couple of CW ops that were just absolutely hardcore at it, and they were in a separate trailer. But with the help of Halibut Electronics, we were using we had 2 operators at each station. Did not have an intercom between them,
right?
but we could both hear the radio. So one logger, one operator. Worked out really well. Love his Radio Pro and User Pro setup. If you have not looked at the Open Headset Interconnect Standard,
Oh, that'd be cool.
definitely look at that. He
I
has
didn't think about that.
Yeah, he has a contest console coming out that gives you an intercom between the two.
That'd be really cool.
Shameless plug for him. I am ordering 2 of those for the club. Yeah, because I have a club card, and we're buying those, and the
Go
club
for
will
it.
just deal with it.
That's right.
But actually, I
Gotta
have
have
since
it.
we were talking batteries, we're running 2 of those in the
Whoa.
trailer.
All right.
260 amp hour. We're actually running it as a 24 volt system,
Okay.
and we were running off of Honda 2200 generators. We had 2 of those run in parallel on propane. So we're
Okay.
running the Hutch
Yep.
Mountain kit.
Yep.
Both generators ran 24 hours and didn't go through a bottle of propane each.
I was just
Wow.
gonna say, how much propane? A 20-pound bottle?
20-pound bottle. We did not empty the
Wow.
bottles.
Was
Very
that just
good.
was that just for the comms trailer, or is that running air conditioners and
So
all that kind of good stuff?
It was running the comms trailer. It was keeping the batteries topped off,
Okay.
and the inverter charger that we have through Victron. I have it set to charge the batteries at 30 amps.
Okay.
I can go up to 70, but I figure why.
Right.
Plus, it ran our air conditioner 24 hours
Just for the comms trailer.
just for the comms trailer.
That's freaking awesome.
That-
And you didn't go
that's
through
great.
one bottle of propane at all.
Well, we basically went through 2 because each
Okay.
generator had their own bottle.
Okay.
Okay.
But there's still about quarter bottle left in each, and it ran 24 hours straight. The high in the middle of the day was 105,
Whew.
and
Texas.
the inside of the trailer stayed at 73 degrees.
That's the best.
Nice.
That's
So
the
what
best.
was the
Nice.
so what was the with your propane generator and your Victron?
Mm-hmm.
Which let me preface this, okay? Ham radio people who are cheap, don't go buy Victron. Your head will explode. But it is like, but unless you're an Elecraft or Flex radio user, then you guys are okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Victron is not cheap, but it is the best, like
Yep.
literally. So
Absolutely.
what was your RFI situation, Steve? I want to know what kind of noise, if any, you were seeing keeping those radios running with all that you just mentioned.
There was nothing on the S meter.
It's freaking cool.
Excellent.
That's
Now, I will
people,
tell you.
people are talking in the chat about RFI, noisy inverters,
Yep.
this. Yes, if you're a cheap ass Okay.
Which most of us
and
are.
there's nothing wrong with that. I have, they were talking about this this smart controller, they call it, that I repaired on a video recently. It is the noisiest damn thing that I've ever seen. Like, you plug it in, I can plug it in the upstairs corner of my house, and I'll have an S15 noise floor over here.
Oh yeah,
It's
an LED
35
light that
feet that
illuminates.
way. I'm like, it is terrible.
It's not connected, by the way.
You're right. Terrible. Oh
wait
my
till you
God.
see my videos on the generators that we originally purchased for the trailer.
We'll get that
Okay.
in about 6 to 8 months.
Did you get a video on this
With the
setup you
field
just
day.
mentioned?
I will have a video coming out on that as well.
In 6 to
I've
8
got-
months.
Yeah, screw you. I have clips where I've put together of the trailer.
Okay.
That Victron inverter charger goes about 80 pounds.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
heavy.
Yep.
These batteries are 80 pounds apiece.
All of your serious RV, like your full time, we're on the road 360 days a year, RV and overland and van life people. I shouldn't say all. A lot of them use Renogy, but probably more than 50% of them use Victron. They're
Victron,
expensive, but
Yeah.
they are
But-
just like the absolute. It's like
They're
buy it and put it in your
bulletproof.
will to your kids because
Well,
it's going to last that long.
Yep.
So-
And they have an RF certification.
yes, correct.
So-
yes, that's correct.
Oh, interesting. Oh, very good.
That's part of the reason we went with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that inverter was almost $2,000. So for those of you wanting to know,
Buy once, cry once.
Yes.
buy once, cry once. It was worth it.
Yeah, it'll be good for 20 years.
We bought Champion generators because the league did a review on them and said, "Oh yeah, they're fine." Yeah, they're not fine.
Not so much.
I have 3 Champion generators, and they do make noise.
Mhm.
But I've been very happy with the quality and the performance of those. So
Oh
yeah,
they performed well, but
but they're
at
not
an-
quiet.
S7 noise level
Well, you just
that
need
was-
to move. Yeah,
after $600 worth of filtering that we added to them.
45 Auto is right, by the way.
Yeah,
Put out more than
45
2
hours
videos
correct.
a year.
He's
20.
correct.
I think he meant
Thanks,
2022. He probably
Yeah.
meant 2022.
Rude.
But yeah, so
Gonna remove your name from any future drawings.
this
You're not gonna win the 7,300.
this
yeah,
coming
In
this
10
coming
years.
weekend though, we are actually going out to fix the field where we do field day. Because we had 4 solid days of rain prior to field day.
Oh wow. Oh yeah. So now there's
And-
tire tracks everywhere.
2 of my club members brought out their trailers and proceeded to bury their trucks. So
Ooh.
yeah,
So it looks like the Hamvention swap meet the first year we had it in Zenith.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah,
I get
oh
you.
yeah.
I get you. Yeah.
One of
Turns
them
into a
almost went to
tractor
the
pull.
axle.
Yeah.
And
Scout
he's like,
75
I'm still
says,
moving. No, you're not.
Says, just notice Molson is wearing the oldest plain black T-shirt in his
It's
rotation.
not black.
Nice job breaking out the retro footy.
Meaning it's been washed for the last 40 years.
It's not
turning
black.
brown.
It's like purple.
That's not
Well, it
purple,
used
buddy.
to be
That's
black.
brown.
It used
Well, I
to
mean,
be
it
black.
was black 5 years ago,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
now
well-
it's purple.
Yeah, we did
Ah,
operate.
it looks brown on the.
That's brown.
It's because the blue light. It's because the blue light.
It's because of the things and that stuff.
Because that other thing.
I think my club operated the full 24 hours.
Nice.
I was out there for a majority of it. I was there before setup till about 3. I was back out there at 7, left at 10:30, and then got back out there for teardown. So,
Did you make any contacts?
oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was on.
Sounds like a cool setup.
Yeah.
I ran our 20-meter station for about an hour solid, and then somebody said, "Hey, dinner's here."
20 was on fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
was
can't get a spot.
averaging.
If you could find a frequency.
Yeah.
I was holding the frequency, and I was averaging about 3 contacts a minute.
Nice.
Nice.
Wow.
Cool.
So, and that was just me logging and operating at the same time. I love a foot switch,
Oh, me too.
Absolutely.
Me too.
Yes.
Well,
and,
Joe-
and that's the other benefit to the halibut setup is you can plug a foot switch into it.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Joe Brett, you're next, buddy. We saw a YouTube video from your experience at Field Day, but do you want to give us a 50,000-foot view of what you guys did for Field Day?
I'm going to do the same, Jason.
I'm gonna wait for Jason and Steve.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Go
so
ahead.
We gotta shoot the shit until they get back. Then we'll resume.
No, it's okay. The video was my attempt to go on live, so I brought like 2 phones and the iPad out, and I was like, the iPad, I can just set it up and leave it, and we'll just do a live. And I had my remote microphones, all that good stuff, so you could hear. What I didn't know is how the cell service was out there, and 1 bar LTE.
Yep.
So you couldn't really see my face, I don't think, too well in the live.
It was kind of pixelated, but
little pixelated, but there was moments you could make out a grill or a radio and people. But so it was a great time. A couple of years ago, I think I done a video with this group called Area 51 where they did their first POTA.
The POTA, yeah.
Yeah. So if you remember anything about that group, there was not a club. There's just a group of folks that like to have fun with ham radio.
Right.
They don't collect dues. They don't have business meetings. They give tests and have fun playing radio. So I've mentioned that to some folks because a lot of the clubs around here, clubs can be great, but when they're only collecting dues and getting together to eat lunch and no radios, it don't work out too well. So one of the local clubs here, unfortunately, several folks joined trying to turn it around. They actually voted to purchase a new 7300 with the club money for the club. They voted yes on it. They still refused to order it, the people that had the power, right? So that was it. They split up, and now we have Grid 54 is the group that we have here in this area now. And the same thing as the Area 51 group. We just get together, do POTA, do field day, do presentations, radio stuff, something that's fun. And so this was our first field day together. It's the first field day I've ever went out and actually participated in. I have visited field day sites before, but I've never been like a part of it.
You missing out.
Yes, and so it was great fun. Now we was 3 Alpha. We had 3 stations set up, and I think it took longer to set the tables up for the radios than it did the antennas because each station used an end-fed halfway.
Ooh,
Perfect.
Throw it up in the tree. And,
Perfect.
And it worked, of course, with the bands.
Better than the antenna that I was trying to put up.
I was going to say, it's better than that thing, that
hours,
monstrosity that Shane tried to build. Sheesh.
Yeah. So the bands were a little rough, at the start, but we kind of just came and went as we pleased from the radios until the sun started going down. But we started out giving tests. We had 2 people come up, take a test.
Oh, nice. That's a great way to start field day.
So we got a brand new technician. As soon as they accept his license, he will be licensed. And then we had one upgrade to general.
Nice.
Which, Joe, that reminds me, I need you for Huntsville for an extra upgrade.
Okay. Just remind me.
Hey, Ham Radio Crusader, thank you for becoming a member there.
I was just about to say, Ham Radio Crusader.
Freddie Mac, thank you.
Freddie Mac.
Freddie, thanks for joining the YouTube member program. Thanks for being in my video chat today. I appreciate it.
Freddie's a cool guy. Chat, if you ain't checked his channel, check it. Subscribe to it. So yeah,
he's constantly connected to my All-Star system too. So those of you who are not should be. Go ahead, Brett. Sorry,
that's fine.
I got to put plugs in where I can find them.
Not a whole lot more. I mean, just the typical field day stuff. I mean, we grilled out, we hung out, we took rotations. But the funny thing is, the one guy in the group that kind of pumped everybody up is, we're doing the 24 hours, man. We're going to do the whole thing. We're going to take rotations, this and that. So little after 1 o'clock, I had the only station that didn't have a computer, so I was having a paper log and sharing that paper log with other operators when we take a rotation. About the time I got to page 3, and there's 40 contacts on each sheet, you're having to go back through after you hear the call sign and say, okay, has anybody worked this guy yet?
Yeah, checking for dupes.
Yeah. So
just write it down and roll on.
And some of them did that, and some of them yelled, "We worked before," but a lot of them just give you the contact, move on. But it's the guy that's having to go back and put it in. That's his problem, not ours. But
yeah.
A little after 1 o'clock, I decided to call it. Some of the other guys were calling it, and the guy that was talking the most smack about the 24 hours, sitting there talking to him, and he's just No. And he drove a truck for a long time, so I'm like, yeah, it's this DOT shutdown. He's got to take a break. So,
Yeah.
Nice.
but I think they stayed till about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I got back up at 8 and sent a text out. I'm like, hey, still got some radios. I'm coming back. And they're like, it's gone, dude. We tore everything down. All right, so I just come out to the shack and did 1 Delta and got some contacts. There was a lot of 1 Deltas on Sunday.
Yeah, there were.
I think a lot of people went home,
Yeah.
It was fun. Enjoyed it and look forward to another one.
Very cool.
All right.
Yeah, there's it's funny how when somebody becomes a dupe, like some of the guys, like, so I remember once or twice before I got my logging software, someone would be like, they'd almost yell at you in a weird, like, it's almost in a to humiliate you or something, but like, hey, we're a dupe, like. And I think 45 Auto, he says, just quicker to work him and keep going. Like, there's a bunch of them that were dupes. I would give them the information and just be, by the way, we are a dupe, but more than happy to give it to you, and just move on. Because, like, even though nobody sees you, it's kind of embarrassing when people are like, you're a dupe, like almost like you're a, I don't know.
Well,
I didn't have anyone be rude to me this time. I was doing a run calling CQ, and I had 2, maybe 3 all weekend that were dupes. And the guy would call me and I'd put it in and I was like, hey man, I think we're a dupe on this band. He goes, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, no worries, man. Good luck today. Yours
There's no reason to apologize.
Just moving on. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, I was like, I've done it.
Yeah.
Especially if the band is doing this number all day long and you write down a call sign and you think it's right, but you get it wrong. And then later that guy's booming in at 5859. You're like, oh, that guy sounds great. Oh, I worked you an hour ago. Really? Okay.
Oops. Okay.
Not in my log, but okay. So.
Speaking of strong signals, it's funny because a buddy of mine sent me a video, a link to a YouTube video, and a bunch of people, you guys, that were all together. You guys try to make contact with this guy who was streaming really good signals, healthy signals, and he came up with phantom call signs. It was hilarious to watch. Did you guys see that video?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. We should probably play that at some point.
We should at some point.
And this that will probably get this stream demonetized, but it'll be worth it.
Well, so
I think someone should hear that.
If it does, the Buy Me a Coffee is pinned at the top of the chat.
Go
for it.
As well as the super chats and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah. Anyways, we could talk about it later.
Don't we have one in there that we need to show? Yeah.
I didn't see. Was there one from Steve? The Steve guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's too many Steves.
Right. Thanks for supporting the channel, Steve. That's your penance for being tardy or absent for the last couple of weeks.
I was gonna say I was the first one here tonight.
Yeah.
He beat me by minutes.
So who's next to talk about their field day experience?
So we heard Steve and we heard Joe Brett. So Izzo, field day this year. Did you do anything? Did you skip out?
Yeah. No. My club and I we participated for about 4 hours, 5 hours on Saturday. I'm not going to tell you it was hot because it really wasn't. But the humidity was sitting at between 98 and 100% with rain and bugs. So we operated Plan B. We get permission from our local town hall, our municipality center, and they have a whole big backyard. It's down by a beautiful river, and it's near the ocean. So when the tides go low, the bugs come out, and with the humidity and the rain, so we decided to use the lobby where it was some air conditioning. Just ran the feed line in. TN07, thank you. That antenna played extremely well. Very, very happy. That's part of my that's in my big bag that I take out and
which model, Don?
The seal, it looks like a grenade, and it's no longer available on the website. And I've been meaning to contact see if it's going to come back.
Oh, he puts that in like 3 or 4 different models. Are you talking about the vertical flagpole or one of the HOA antennas or what?
No, it's an end fed. I run it as I normally run it as an end fed half wave.
Okay,
but it's sealed. It's 100% sealed.
My flagpole has that same little grenade looking thing.
Grenade looking thing.
And it's a matching unit that will give you decent SWR from 10 to 80 meters with no tuning.
Correct. However,
So, yeah.
I decided to run it as the inverted V because we were using my truck and the TN0 plate under the wheel. My gigaparts, my brand new gigaparts, the push-up mask came in.
Mhm.
It was up about 30 feet or so. But I've been really digging this inverted V stuff and it so worked out well. I get home, everybody was done. I get home, and this is something that I learned, and we talk about when you're going to plan for field day. What do? You start planning right away for next year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm already doing winter field day inside my head already.
Yeah.
But I think for my club for next year, I'm going to ask them, instead of start doing the start time, let's wait to early evening. Because I got back here, I grabbed a quick shower, had a dinner with the kids, and all of a sudden I came out here to the garage. I'm like, do I go to the back deck? Do I go downstairs? I'm like, well, what do I do? Then here comes the pouring rain again. Sat out here using the NI4L off center fed, and the bands are going crazy. And I'm like a kid in a candy store saying, what band do I want to operate it? So I grabbed 2 cigars, set myself up down in here, and threw on. I actually pulled out my ICOM 706 Mark II G. I didn't use the 7300.
Did you bring that one that's in your shack, Don? Is that the only one you've got?
Which one? No. Well, I have a Mark II G. I got 2 7300s.
Okay. Well, Don, you've got one in your shack. Don has a 706 Mark II G in his shack that looks
that one there. That's what I pulled out.
Spanking new.
He
Looks like he bought it yesterday.
You're being kind. No, actually, no. The screen really has some scratches on it.
It wasn't powered up when I was there. It wasn't powered up when I was there, but I'm like, dude, where has that thing been? Because it looks like you bought it yesterday. It's
I got that when did that come out? Like in 2000, maybe 2001 or 1999. And I don't want to give it up. It's one of those rigs.
No, never sell that.
It's sitting right now.
You can send this to Texas if you want.
Yeah. No, I love you, but no, I'll send you cigars.
Yeah.
Right now, literally,
it's a beautiful radio.
It's a beautiful rig. Now, again, the technology, the receiver sensitivity is not like a 705 so it is apples and bowling balls to watermelons. But however, it's a fun thing to do. It's plugged into my into my big 40 ampere hour, and I sat there, and I'm pulling and I'm just doing paper logs at this point. 40 meters was incredible here in Connecticut on Saturday night, starting around 7:30, and then I went over to 20. And I'm like, literally, I'm working into California. I'm working into Arizona. I texted Frank. That's when I texted Frank. I said, Frank, what are you guys doing? What call sign are you guys using? And all of a sudden, I found Frank. And Jason, I got to tell you something. Just as I was calling him, literally, the station, you guys' station was like a nice 5.7, 5.8. And all of a sudden 20 dropped. I'm like, oh no, I hope he heard me. So I gave it a few more times. And I'm playing with the RIT, and I'm shifting this so I can, because you know how packed the bands are.
Oh yeah, it was.
So that's when you guys. So these are all these little knobs that you really don't use on a regular day, maybe for POTA, whatever. But for field day, use it. Kind of shift around, shift your receive audio around. And it really helps pull out a station. And I heard Frank finally acknowledge me. And I'm like, you do the sign of the cross. You're like, all right, Frank, catch you later. Catch you down the log. But it was fun. For a while there, the police copies. I'm not sure if you guys all know. The police copies were.
Jason was the police copy.
I said please copy all the time. I said it all the time. I know it's a funny joke. But everybody uses it. Everybody says it. I do not care. The
Me
only
neither.
thing I care about really, and this is an umbrella statement. The only thing I actually care about is if you're a jackass on the air. If
Right.
you're nice, I
Yep.
don't care what you call it.
Right.
Yep.
I really don't care. Kyle's made a big joke out of it, and it's funny. I love his "Please Copy Police" on the T-shirt that he had at Adventure. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I said it. People said it to me. I'm like, hey, thanks, 73 QR said. I mean,
Right.
Oh, I
One
know
of
I
the-
said it.
I don't care.
So it slips out. But I got to tell you, one of the things that I did and what I like to do, because I remember where I was my first field day in 1990, and I was nervous. Am I doing this right? You kind of follow the lingo of the veterans out there. So after I went up and down the bands a couple times, I started working some newer people who you knew were not, maybe this was their first field day, or maybe they were visitors. And I truly believe in telling them you're doing a good job. So what if it took them 2 or 3 times for you to get your call sign? They really don't know what phonetics. Okay, in my line of work professionally as well as for my hobby, phonetics are used all the time. My kids laugh sometimes. My kids were learning phonetics before they were learning the capitals and learning their their multiplication tables and stuff. It is what it is in my house. But I found some people on the air not being very good hams. And guys, please, this is field day and any other operating event. You hear that new person, give them a little slack. Don't forget where you came from.
Yes.
And tell them they're doing a good job. Guess what? That helps them understand our hobby, to understand the phonetics, understand what's going on. You don't ever want them to walk away. You don't want them walking away saying, it was okay. They were kind of mean to me on the air. So I kind of made it a point to help some people, and you can hear it in their voice when they say thank you back. That made it all worthwhile for me. Whether you make one contact or 100.
Yeah.
Leave somebody, be a good ambassador of this hobby.
Yes.
Is what I say.
Agreed.
And Wild Hogs, no, I did not say 1919. I'm not that old.
You
said
talking about
1990.
that? You mentioned that, Isoda. I missed that part of my little experience there. We had the GOTA station set up, and I unexpectedly this guy brings his 2 boys by to come check the place out. We showed them around a little bit and then took them straight to the GOTA station, and they were really nervous at first. Each one of them made a contact apiece. Then they went on. I see that they liked it. And before I left, I had some FRS radios that are reviewed, still brand new in the box. They gave me some extra to give away. And when I took my stuff, I just, let me grab one of these just in case. And I was like, this is perfect. So I go out to the truck, I grab it. I said, here, boys. I said, Dad, do you mind? I asked him first. I said, but here's you some brand new radios. They don't require a license. They're just FRS. You can talk to each other. And the good thing about them being Chinese radios is they got them freaking PL tones already pre-programmed in them.
Yeah.
So
I
you
told
can't hear anybody else.
Yeah, so I told Dad, so if there's a knucklehead in the neighborhood, they won't hear him.
That's right. Yeah.
But, one last thing. My only regret, Joe, and I'm not sure, maybe you had this. I wanted to work longer. By 11 o'clock, I'm playing because I had to be up early for Sunday. Guys, no violin, but I had to go back to work on Monday. It was going to be a long day, longer shift than normal. And I'm like, I kept looking at the clock saying, can I squeeze in a few more? I finally had to just pull the plug. That to me is the hardest, I think, on field day. Because again, back in 1990, guys, yes, I was the young guy with the long hair and the mustache and the earring and all that other
and the El
stuff.
Camino.
And no, I never had an El Camino. I did. But it was fun to stay up all night for the camaraderie. Get up in the morning, and I remember some guy used to bring in these beautiful duck eggs. I used to make breakfast for everybody, throw on the bacon and the sausage. And it was fun. Times have changed, but it's hard to pull the plug, I think, on field day. It really is. We're all beat and tired. We're mentally tired. You're hot. You sweat. You want to get. But like I said, right away, man, I started thinking ribs. Exactly. I'm saying, what's Molson? Did Molson get to his friend's place? Where's Joe? Again, I forgot about Steve in the trailer, and I'm thinking about again Shane and Jason and Mike and the boys all down there in Texas, and friends out in California. You know, where's Kyle? Where in Missouri is Kyle? You know what I mean? It's like one of those, and you're kind of going through your list of all your friends.
He's rolling through the bands looking for people saying, please copy.
You make
on a live stream.
Making notes, looking them up on QRZ, sending them an email you're not supposed to send.
I actually, hey, Jason, so in previous years, sometimes I will, on my paper logs, just for fun, I run a column. And it's called PC for please copy. And I usually run a check mark. I'm just curious to see what the percentage is of people who
Kyle,
awesome.
We like to tease Kyle, but for everybody in the chat who may not know, Kyle is not that much of a curmudgeon. He doesn't really
all
do
116 of you.
We're just teasing Kyle here. But go ahead, Don. I'm sorry.
But no, it's fun because, and guess what? I said it too. Matter of fact, at my club station during the day on Saturday, I accidentally gave out my own personal call sign by accident.
Yes,
I did that too. Me saying, "Hey, idiot, you're
and
the guy who laminated the sheet.
And
you're the guy who laminated the sheet that said this is our call sign."
Right.
Mike did it. Jason did it. We all said CQ POTA.
Mm-hmm. You all do it. So.
Yeah,
wait a minute. CQ Field Day.
I was making myself notes here. I'm like, this is good and bad. I'm sorry. Can I hijack the subject for a minute?
Yeah, go for it.
So
take it.
This is good and bad. Good and bad. Okay. So many times I caught myself trying to say QRZ CQ POTA or QRZ KC5 HWB CQ POTA. We were operating as our club call. That's good that people, including myself, are that active on HF. Because that means, I mean, if I hadn't been on HF since last winter field day or since last field day, I'd be like, oh, hey, CQ field day, QRZ, KN5TR, cool, yeah. No, I kept having to catch myself. Frank did it. I don't know if Mike did it or not. Mike's a little bit more professional than I am. But Frank did it. Noel did it. My buddy Noel that was there, he did it. And we're like, oh, gosh, CQ POTA, CQ. Oh, no, CQ field day, CQ field day. The fact that, and I've said this 100 times, POTA has brought new life into HF.
Oh yes, totally.
Absolutely.
And I think it's
field
excellent.
Day every day. Field day every day, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's excellent that that people are doing. I mean, it's a mistake, and we all make mistakes. Who cares? I think it's excellent that you're used to saying CQ POTA because that means you're active and you're out on the airwaves. And you're operating HF on a normal day, not just once a year on field day. So that's
totally.
I gotta tell you, and one other thing. So my club, we have an ICOM 718.
Yeah.
And there's no pre-programmed buttons like there are on the 705 and the 7300. So there I was on Saturday trying to push that button. So the pre-program. I get back Saturday night, same thing now. The 706 Mark II-G does not have those, and there I was looking for that button to say CQ field day. I'm like, you idiot, Don, it's not there. But and occasionally too on Saturday night, I kept using the foot. I'm like, wait a minute, there's no foot pedal.
At least
not at work. We're not downstairs.
At least you're not Frank with an FDDX10 who has forgotten for a year to put a freaking SD card in his radio so that he could voice record.
You could use that function.
I am dead serious. I am 110% serious. This boy has 75 SD cards for his camera and 0 of them
zero for the
are
radio.
in the radio. And I'm
like,
what the freak is hell, Frank? Seriously.
I think you can do it without the SD card in the radio in the DX10.
No, you can't.
We have it recorded.
You have to, so unless they've changed something, you have to, the recording feature for the 7300 and the FDX10, the recording stuff goes on the SD card. The last time I tried it on Frank's radio, it wouldn't work. It kept going bonk, 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 bonk. It wouldn't let me do it because I have an FDX10. I use it all the time. And I'm like, and I looked down, I was like, there's no SD card in here, Frank.
Because Jason operates Frank's radio more than Frank does.
He's probably on a version of firmware that predates like Yaesu, the company of Yaesu itself.
Come on, Frank, update the firmware.
Yeah.
It's when Jesus wore short pants.
Yes.
Hey, Frank, that's a free video.
I'm like,
how to update firmware on the DX10.
Yes, Frank, there's your video, Frank.
It takes literally about 65 seconds to update the firmware on that radio.
Yep. So
3-minute video. There you go.
Like I said before, one of the Kenwoods from the club wasn't working, so I came home. I had brought it anyways in case. So I had my Yaesu FT950 with me, and I don't know how that radio is like 15 years old. I don't know how old is the 950 when it came out.
It's probably
been
about
around
that.
a while.
Probably about that.
So anyway,
it's a great radio. By the way,
great
I love
radio,
it.
yeah.
I love that radio. Anyway, so over there, and I record, CQ Field Day, and you don't need an SD card for it. And I'm sitting there and playing, and one of the new hams comes around, and he actually put a video out to our club about Field Day, and he's like, "Is that a contesting radio? Because you can record." I'm going to save up my money. I was like, "No, man, a lot of radios do that." He's like, "What?" I'm like,
the freaking
yeah.
IC 7000 does that, dude. That is a 20.
Yeah, I know. But
Yep.
and that's what one of the guys said. He goes, "I think my 7000 does it."
Yeah,
But it's so one of the things about Field Day is it's cool that people who are usually on Brandmeister or DMR or whatever it is, who are never on HF, and then they, and there's some hams that have been around for like hams for 30 years, and they're still just using UHF, VHF. They're not interested in, or they don't get into it, and they come around, and then it's just like relighting a fire under their butt
I agree.
to
yeah.
get it back.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it was really cool. Anyways, later on when it comes to my turn, I'll go through some stuff, but
Wait, it is
Yeah.
your turn.
Yeah, stay on it,
Oh,
man.
it
Stay
is?
on it.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
jump
keep
on
it
it.
I think
going.
it's your
Go
turn.
for
I've
it.
been making notes when it comes to back to my turn, so I don't forget what I want to say.
Because
So-
Jason and I are going to share turns. So
Yeah.
we're at the same field day. So it's up to you. buddy.
So Field Day to me. So you have to realize I only recently rejoined like last month or I went to the last meeting about a month ago. Actually, tomorrow is the next meeting, so a month ago. Rejoined because I was a member right at the beginning of COVID, and then I didn't resign. So most of the people in the club, I recognized their faces, knew their call signs the call signs were familiar from the local net meeting, which I haven't checked in a year and a half. So then I rejoined last year, and then I rejoined last month, and then here we are. We're doing the Field Day a month later. And so there's a lot of new faces, new hams. And so, I was really excited with the new hams. Our club, from what I get, because I've only been right before COVID, the club was not very active in doing Field Day. Kind of from what I understood, it was like one or two people who led the charge, and they were always left with 90% of the work. And then it wasn't enjoyable for them, and there wasn't much participation. So when I saw at the last club meeting that there were some new hams that didn't have HF privileges, and they were really gung-ho for it, they wanted to see, and they were actually, the three of them were pretty much planning Field Day. I was like, I'm gonna help out. Like, I'll be there, even if I'm just there as a station controller to make sure you guys can get on, and I can just be there. I'll do that, And I said, I'll say the 24 hours if that's what you guys want, because I can operate on very little sleep. And I guess it just kind of snowballed. And some people who were like, I'm not coming, were like, you know what? They need help. I'll come. And I think when it was over, I think Field Day, it ended up being like maybe 19 people of the club, which is really good when you think that they were canceling previously. They weren't doing it at all because they had no participation.
Right.
And a lot of the guys who showed up were like, I don't have time. I'm not interested. And then those guys were on the radio, staying till 1, 2 in the morning. The guys who were like before saying, I'm not interested, they were there till all time of night. And then the next morning early, even before me. So it was I think what it did, Field Day is a great opportunity to light, to kind of reignite passion for the hobby, camaraderie, community. So it's more than just making contacts. I think it's a great thing for the community.
Absolutely.
And especially, so one of the things that was cool is we did have some people come and visit. They put it out on the radio, the local radio. And there are some people who came. What was really funny, there was his dad and son who came, and they're into CB radio, right? And so, and which is cool, but he was like, do people talk? I'm like, yep, we do rag chewing. Some people will do this, like almost like contesting every day. They'll just make contacts around the world. He's like, so do you guys ever talk politics? I'm like, well, see, you can, but it's not real. Do you guys ever talk about religion? And I'm like, and it's this young kid, and it's like he wanted to, because on CB they talk smack and everything else all the time, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like, because like on CB, we're pretty liberal in what we say, and I'm like, yeah. And then like one of the old hams was there. He's like, no. You don't talk religion. You don't talk. There's a code of ethics, right?
We don't do this.
And I'm like, well, you can like teach him the love of ham, right? And then tell him the restrictions that we live by. But anyways, it was interesting. But it was, it was great to show new hams. And so we had antenna issues. Our club had crappy antennas. Like a lot of them weren't working. So I think our club, out of all the antennas they had, only one was good. It was a fan dipole. Another gentleman brought one, and then I came home, and that ice storm that all my end feds and stuff got damaged. So my G5 RV Junior was like the cable that was holding it up off the pulley. It fell, so it was literally lying on my roof. So I climbed up came home, climbed up my tower, took it down, and brought it back, and we strung that thing up. And so we had 3 stations, 1 Goda,
Nice.
and 2. So we were 2A with a Goda.
Mhm.
Yeah. And we rocked it. We're not going to win a prize. Like, I don't know, maybe collectively between the Goda and maybe
did you have fun?
600 contacts. Yeah, it was amazing. It was a great time.
I don't care about the points.
If they walk
I just
up
wanna
to you,
have fun.
if they walk up to you and say, "Hey, Lord of Sealand, I want your autograph."
Right.
That's even better.
And for the C beer guy, you just said, "Listen, you want to have fun? Come over to the clubhouse. Come over to
Right.
YouTube."
No,
Yeah,
I was just like,
Yeah.
I said, listen, here's the thing. No one's going to stop you from talking about politics and religion. You're just going to become really well known as the guy on 14.313. And,
Nice.
and so,
7.200.
Yeah.
7.180.
Yeah.
Or
we have
188,
we have
there we go.
frequencies reserved
Buy-
for guys
Buy
like
your
you.
own repeater, put it up, get on a tall mountain or a tall building, talk about whatever the heck
Talk
you
about
want
your
to.
friends.
Good
Yeah.
point.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's your repeater, bro. Do what you
So we
want.
had good food. Good
Yeah,
food.
fine, I'll start
We had
to go for it.
Somebody brought a smoker, and we had ribs and chicken and all kinds of
But
stuff.
did you have Frank's ribs?
No.
You see, if you never
See-
had Frank's ribs, you don't know what you're missing. So they're just as good.
We
right?
had this discussion there at the collective this year because it is so hot in Texas. We were like, you know what? We should probably go to Canada next year and do field day with Molson, and we will bring the ribs and the good Southern food, and you guys throw up the battery, the radios, and make contacts.
There you go.
I think that's an excellent trade-off.
That's tempting.
I
That's
will.
simple.
I will simply bring Frank, and then, and then you guys can figure out what to do from there.
I
No,
think
that
that would be
that
a great idea.
yeah.
What
That
I'm
makes me
hearing
that makes
is
me think
Jason's going to
about.
pay for Frank's airline ticket.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah,
But, No, I was thinking about Winterfield Day, Shane.
well, it's gonna be cold up there then.
Well, no, I don't. I'm not going to freaking Canada at Winterfield Day. No,
No,
I'm
I
talking
was
about
saying-
Winterfield Day at the beach.
Yeah,
That we
Galveston.
talked
That'd
about.
be a great idea.
Were you there
Yeah.
when we talked
Yep,
about that?
I was there.
Okay.
Yep.
On Sunday night, yeah. Sunday
I'm
night,
gonna
yep.
I'm gonna talk about that here in a minute when it's my turn.
But for summer field day,
Yeah.
or the ARRL Field Day, if we were to go up to Molson's area where it's
That'd be
a
fun.
lot cooler
It'd be fun.
and set up all this really cool stuff, and then we could bring our barbecue to really impress the Canadians. I think that's a great foreign exchange policy there.
Good.
We're
yeah.
going to keep up relations between
Good.
Texas.
That's right. Good.
But they're going to kick you out
relations,
because
exactly.
you brought Frank.
That's right.
Well,
Well,
we'll
yeah.
bring Frank's ribs.
That's a catch-
If we have
that's
to
a-
leave Frank, we can.
That's a catch 22.
That is a
Yeah.
22.
Just take his
Yeah.
beans. It's okay.
Well, Frank had the invitation. He didn't join us tonight, so
Oh,
Come on,
you
Frank.
sent him the invite? Okay.
I did. Yeah, he has other plans.
Yeah.
So-
He went back up to the cigar bar tonight.
Okay.
So, Jason, moving on to you, do you want to kind of describe what we had for field day? I can slide
Yes.
out of the way and kind of let everybody see
I made
what we
some
had.
notes. Yeah.
But,
Go ahead. Go
yeah,
right ahead.
This was our field day, and I was with Jason. So, Jason, if you want to talk about field day in Forestburg, Texas, jump into it.
All right. So this is where we've done field day for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, something like that. And this is my hunting. I have a deer hunting lease about an hour and a half that way. And it's
For me, it's about an hour that way.
yeah. Shane's a little bit north of me. But it's out, it's about 175 acres out there. We have a camp set up. All those awnings we set up ourselves. That's the Buddy Hex in the background because I don't do field day or winter field day anymore without a Buddy Hex. It's a freaking awesome antenna. Did a build video that will premiere probably next week with some updates to the Buddy Hex that Buddy Pole has made in the last couple of years since I did my last build video. But we ran as 3 alpha Kilo November 5 Tango Romeo, and which is what we've run as the past 2 or 3 years, both field day and winter field day when we've done it. And Mike had his DX Commander set up, and we got to use that on 40 meter. That was the only 40 meter antenna we had. And it would do 15, 20, 10. I think he was able to tune it on 6. The Buddy Hex has 6 meters, but sadly, when we got there on Thursday, Mike got there Thursday morning, and I got there a couple hours after him. And we got everything set up. And well, we got Mike's antenna set up. Mike set his radio up really quick. 6 meter FT8 was on fire. It was like yellow, orange, and red on the waterfall Thursday night. And then after that, it died. And it never came back for field day weekend, which I was really wanting to do some 6 meter, either FT8 and or sideband for field day. And it never came back. So I don't know, but it was cool. We did a few FT8 contacts on 10 meters, and 15 meters was lit the whole time. I did 15 meter FT8 a bunch. I got on sideband and I called CQ, and I had a few stations come back to me on CQ, but I just mostly hunted up and down the band, and every station I heard was like 5 to 10 over 5.9, and I'd go back to them. I'd get them on the first or second try, and that's what it was. So 15 meters was really good. Stayed lit the whole weekend. Did some 20 meters. It was just hard to find a place. And
it was packed.
Right. Yeah. There's Robert in the chat. I was wondering what happened to him. He was supposed to come out Saturday, do some satellite work for us. We never saw him. He never showed up. So it's all right, buddy. We'll get you next time. Don't worry about it.
Come up to Canada with us next year.
Yeah.
So it's cooler because it's not so hot in Texas.
So I made some notes while everyone else was talking, and I'd like to talk about 2 or 3 key points.
Yeah, really.
Whenever you guys are going to
It's all you, buddy.
Go for it, man. Yeah, go for it.
So y'all were talking about a club. I think it was Izzo and Joe Brett talking about their clubs earlier. I have talked for the last couple of years about forming a virtual online club to welcome people who either A, don't have a club near them, or B, they've gone to a club near them and they don't feel like they're welcome. So Noel, KO5SLK, is a longtime friend of mine, 5 or 6 years, 7 years I've known this guy. He's a member of the Hearst Club. That's where I met him. He is proprietor and call sign trustee of Kilo November 5 Tango Radio, which is what we always operate as during field day and winter field day. So I was talking to him, and I was like, man, I just really like that call sign. And he's like, you know what? Let's just turn this meet twice a year club into what you want to do. So we're moving forward with this virtual club that we're going to have. Haven't decided exactly. I think I'm going to formulate it sort of like the Ham Radio Adventures Club, like We4DX. But I haven't decided 100% on that yet. We've got some things to work out, but we want to formulate this club to welcome people who don't have a club at all near them, or you've gone to your club near you and you don't feel welcome, because that's just wrong. It's just wrong. If you go to a club and you feel like it's a clique, or you feel like everybody
happened to me.
Everybody's
two clubs that I went to.
Everybody's 85 years older than you are. It's just not. It's not cool. Yeah. So we want to try to, because being a member of a club is actually a very fun thing if you find the right club.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Whiskey 2, Hotel Romeo Charlie.
So, that's right.
The Clubhouse is a prime
W2
example of that.
HRC is a great club. We4DX is a great club. Coffee and Ham Radios. I don't remember what their call sign is. They have a great club.
K-Toads.
K-Toads. Is that what it is? Okay.
Yep.
So we're going to do that, and we're going to approach it a little bit differently than what these other clubs have. There's nothing wrong with being the member of more than one club. I'm a member of 4 clubs right now myself. So don't worry about, you don't have to leave one to join the other. It doesn't work that way. We're going to do the club thing. I was surprised. One of the notes I made, somebody was saying something. I was surprised to hear Mike and I were talking. I think it was Saturday morning, and they were like, yeah, we're going to set up our net. And I'm like, why the heck do you guys do nets on field day weekend? But we didn't really run into any. We're running a net on this frequency jackwagons during the weekend.
Check-ins. We're taking check-ins for the YL Systems net an hour and a half before the net takes place.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really run into that much. We heard it some on Friday, but Mike, check-ins for the YL system. But there's never been a YL on there in the last 2 years. So
An hour and a half before the net takes place.
yeah, like we've got a net starting in 2.5 weeks from next Tuesday. We'd like to take early check-ins. It was a big joke all weekend. Mike and I were joking about that all weekend.
I did run into the 80-meter traffic net.
Okay, we didn't get on. That was one of the bands we didn't get. We didn't get on 80, but we didn't have any problems with nets trying to overrun this weekend. I said my thing about POTA already. I'll talk about Winter Field Day 2024 here in just a minute. Let me real quick. Let me talk about. I'm going to talk about Shane.
Uh-oh.
You're gonna take me off of the pinned chat. Okay,
Yeah.
so
We're gonna
years
put
ago,
you front and center.
2 years ago, I'm talking about Shane right now. I'm talking about K5QBF Shane right now. Okay, 2 years ago, and someone said something about this earlier that I think it was Steve or Izzo that said that bring in, or it was one of you guys. I don't know. It was one of you. You guys all look the same to me. You're all white guys.
We're all
So,
we're all bald.
Yeah.
We're all
So
dark
I think it was Molson that said bringing new people in and get them on the air and whatnot. Let me tell you something. 2 years ago, during the July Support Your Parks weekend, so it would have been 2021 July Support Your Parks weekend. I did a thing. I did a Ham Radio 2.0 meetup. We're going to meet up at Lake Ray Roberts. We're going to activate the park. I'm going to set up the Buddy Hex. I'm going to bring out my FTDX 10, which was brand new at the time. People didn't know what it was. And we sat down there. We probably had 20 or 30 people there. Shane sat down with a guy and let this guy, who was a technician, work.
Oh, I remember this. Yes.
He let that was the Ham Harder weekend.
Correct.
That
Antenna boy.
we could hear you,
Yep.
but Mike
Right.
kept going back to you, and you couldn't. You weren't pulling.
He was
out Mike.
calling for the antenna boy, dude.
Yeah. So Shane sat down with a guy who was a tech, and I don't remember the gentleman's call sign. He was a local guy, and that guy worked on Shane's call sign for like half hour or something like that. And I remember that guy got up from the table and he's like, "All right, guys, I got to go. I'm going to go home and study for my general.
I
so
gotta
can
go
do
test
POTA."
for my general.
And he
Yeah.
left. And I'm like, that is why we do. That is why we do what we do. It's a large. It's not the only reason. It's a large reason why we do what we do. So props to Shane for doing that, because he took the patience to sit down with this guy who was a tech, didn't have HF privileges. We were on 20 meters, of course. This was a couple years ago before 10 meters had opened back up again. And yeah, it's that's why we do what we do. So
and while we're talking about that, Shane, when are you upgrading to extra?
Next month.
There you go.
Huntsville, got it. Done.
Huntsville, yeah,
Yep,
Huntsville.
next month.
Mm.
We'll get it by Huntsville.
Awesome.
Speaking of that, like, so I was talking about this on Jason's stream the other night, but my son Nathan, who's 13, he's been in the shack. I've had him on the radio a couple times, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Dad, that's cool." Like, there's that radio there that one of my buddies in one of the clubs gave for my son to just listen, because at one point he was like, "This is, yeah, it's kind of cool, Dad." But on Saturday, my wife's like, "Hey, can you take him with you?" Because, she wasn't going to be home and him and his sisters would fight. So I brought him, and I didn't realize how good of a time he was having. He was talking about, my son's pretty smart, right? Like, he watches a lot of like philosophical videos and, theological videos and stuff. So he's a smart kid. So he's having these conversations with a grown man, like older man, about all kinds of stuff. And, and he was on the radio. And he was like, "Can I do it again? Can I do it again?" And then at night, I was like, "I'm going to drive you home so you can go to bed." So I was going to drive home at 8. So we left. And then we're on the way home. He's like, "Hey, Dad, can I come back with you?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah." He's like, I really, really like it. And so, like, he wants to study for his license now, And I was like, "Okay, this is, I was like, okay, this is going to last the night. Tonight, he's like, "Hey, Dad," because I was going to message Vince, and I think maybe Jody in the chat, he would know. But I thought that there was a Canadian that did a video series about studying for your license, because for him, he wanted to have a video. But he asked me if I could, find him a video. So I messaged Vince on Twitter, and maybe Jody, if you know this year. I thought we had talked about it. But and then tonight he's like, "Dad, if you can find me a video on radio etiquette, because that's one of the sections that I have to do for the test, right?" So it's really cool, Field Day inspired him too, right? Where coming in my shack wasn't enough, but there was something about the overall experience and then the contesting aspect that got him
camaraderie.
going. Yeah. So
Because you said there was a individual who was several years older than him that was talking to him and
Right.
took the time to chat with him and have fun and talk about things.
Yeah, no, it was really cool.
Yeah.
It was really
it's
cool
great.
to see him out there and to enjoy it. So, yeah, Ed says, Molson, do I sense a future priest? No, but he's one of those smart kids that read about everything. Anyways, so Jody, if I think Jody, you might, if you know of the Canadian video series that somebody did, send me a message.
I know Vince does remote testing for Canada.
It's sad that we as humans, and I'm talking about everybody, focus on the negative, because in reality, there's probably a lot more hams who are the older generation that we want to call them. There's probably a lot more of those guys that are helpful.
Oh yeah,
and want to mentor younger folks. Then there are the jackasses,
the curmudgeons,
and the keyboard Rambos on QRZ and whatnot. Those guys are actually the minority.
I really want to call out N5SKT because Don has been instrumental in many of our channels in talking about antennas and theory. We call him the antenna guru. Anytime we have an antenna issue, we always make sure we ping him in Discord so he'll join us on the live stream. Him and Callum. Callum's got a fantastic channel. Yeah, Izzo's been around for a few years,
but hold on.
We lean on Izzo for advice as well.
But look, NAYO, he is absolutely right. I agree. There's a lot of cool. There's a lot of cool old hams and young hams, but I just think sometimes the negativity gets more press, and maybe that's our own fault too. Sometimes maybe
it is. A lot of times it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
that's human nature. It's
human nature. I was going to say that's everywhere. The bad ones are always loud.
Yeah, ask Joe Brett, who's a cop. I mean, ask him how bad. Right. Seriously, I'm not joking. Seriously, it's terrible. But let me talk about Winterfield Day 2024 real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
So I have a house.
Bring in the other guest. It's doesn't know he's going to be on the show tonight.
Oh, okay. So I have a house in Galveston that my wife and I bought about 6 years ago. That is an investment property. We rent it out as a vacation type rental. I've talked about this on my channel a lot. So it's not a second home for us. We try to rent it. It basically breaks even between the mortgage and the 3 types of insurance you have to have a beach house.
Good God.
Seriously, it's 3 types. Yeah. It's regular insurance, homeowners, wind and flood insurance. You have to have all 3 of them.
Oh yeah,
which is not cheap. Which is
especially down there.
It's not cheap. Yeah. So we have this house. We go down there except for the summer, we go down there roughly about once a month, maybe once every couple months. And the peak season is basically Memorial Day until the middle of August when school starts, and then it kind of dies off after that. You get a rush kind of maybe during Labor Day and maybe during Thanksgiving and sometimes at New Year's, although we usually go down there ourselves on New Year's. January, February are dead. There's nobody down there. So we've talked for the last couple of years about doing Winterfield Day because I can't do Summerfield Day. June is peak season and we have it rented during June. So I'm not going to mess with my income stream.
We'll go to Canada.
We can go to Canada. Yeah, we go to Canada. We just won't tell Molson we're coming up there. We'll just show up at his doorstep.
We'll just swim across the river and show up.
Yeah,
Can you imagine the faces on the cows like, oh,
I know. Yeah.
There's 4 guys arming my cows in the field.
Oh hell!
Hey, where's the blizzards? Where's those deep Dairy Queen blizzards?
I'm here for the blizzards.
Right. So we've talked about doing Winterfield Day last week in January in Galveston for the last couple of years. I think I'm going to try to do it next year. Now, we have limited beds, limited space in our house. The state park is literally 7 minutes south of where my house is. So we want to go pick up our stuff, go to the state park, set up, do Winterfield Day from a POTA spot, calling CQ Winterfield Day, and take those logs up them to POTA later.
Absolutely.
Double whammy.
Absolutely.
And I'd like to invite a lot of people down to come down. Now it's Galveston, Texas. The closest airport is Houston Hobby. We do have a limited
Brownsville too.
Brownsville's 5 hours south of me, dude. No, you have George
Corpus.
Bush.
Okay.
No. Corpus. No, Corpus is 5 hours south of me.
Okay.
No, you have Continental, Bush Continental, in
Hobby.
north and Hobby. Hobby's
Okay.
the closest one.
Can't we just pull a Carlos and drop in?
Yes, yeah, you can pull a Carlos and drop in.
As a matter of fact,
There's a
Balloon
Gulf. The Gulf of Mexico's right there. I'd like to see him do a water landing. That'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
So, but if we fill up, you know what? You guys can get together in a group, and I will give you the name and phone number of the property management company who rents my house. They have 75, 80 houses. No, 150 houses in their inventory. Okay, so I can give you a house on my street, and 3, 4, 5, 6 guys can rent one house.
I'll throw
and
my
it'll be
my rooftop tent up on the
well,
on the
and that's a
beach.
possibility also. You can also rent a spot at the state park. They have RV spots and tent sites and whatnot. You can do that as well. We will find if people are serious about wanting to come down, we will find a spot for you.
Yeah, big
So
fun.
I would like to do Winter Field Day from there. I think it'd be really fun. It might be our first official, unless we do a POTA before then. It might be our first official spot for our new club I just mentioned a minute ago. So anyway, more to come on that. I have no plans yet. I have nothing set in stone. I'm going to try to put all this together in the next 6 months. Got plenty of time, no problem. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. So thanks for letting me talk.
Yeah, you're good.
You're good, man. That's awesome.
So do we want to talk about the sad hams of
Oh, I do, because this is not
Always.
my channel. So yeah,
yeah.
I absolutely.
And there's 100 people watching, so
Yes,
So,
there is.
Jason,
I'm gonna dive into this.
Y'all are gonna love this.
Get
So-
ready,
Love it.
everybody. Get ready, everybody.
So prior to the start of Field Day, sorry, Steve,
yeah.
Jason, Mike, myself, we're all and Frank, we're all
Frank.
sitting by the radio, and someone said, "Hey, there's a YouTuber streaming. We should try to make contact with him."
Sure
and
you wanna do
usually,
that.
this
Sure you wanna-
this particular ham lives up in the northern part of the United States, and it's super easy for us to make contact. And he was booming into our station. We were
He
like,
had
you
a
know what?
fantastic signal.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, so let's try to make contact with this particular YouTuber. So let me start. I'm going to start this segment off by myself, K5QBF, trying to make contact with said individual. Let me add this. Okay. Look, can y'all, let me know if y'all can, let me know if y'all can hear this.
no.
Everybody
No.
hear it?
No,
Can everybody hear it?
no audio.
Nope.
No audio.
All right. Well, that's not going to work. So I've got to stop.
Share it with audio.
I did.
You gotta share the window with audio.
All
Right.
so
yeah, you got
present,
it. Yeah. StreamYard has that audio
There we
checkbox.
go.
Window.
Hmm.
There we go.
Let the cat out of the bag now, buddy.
Yeah, there we go. So let me play this. Can you hear this?
Nope.
No. Well, that's not going to work either.
You have it X'd on your screen there.
Yeah,
You
you
had it
definitely.
muted on that window.
I could hear it in my headphones.
No, it's not playing over your
All right. So present
StreamYard.
screen. Got audio. Window.
Do you want me to try it, Shane?
Can you hear this?
No.
No.
Dang it.
The audio is the
Everybody
best. The audio is the best part. So you guys are
Oh,
going to
I
want to
hear
hear this
stand
audio. Yeah.
Please stand by. We're having technical
So
difficulties.
can anybody hear that? Because on
cannot
my
hear it.
end, it says great.
Nope.
Nope.
No audio.
Okay, let me see if I can download it. Give me a minute.
If I have to download it, I will.
Yeah, you have to download it.
I'd be careful showing that chat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a different chat. Never mind.
No.
Send me the link. Send me a link, Shane. I might be able to do it.
I'm gonna download all of them. Let's see, download.
Ron
Download.
says, Shane, you're always hearing voices anyway, which is true.
Absolutely, I agree. Okay, so I've downloaded all of them. Let's stop. Let's
Should I preface this with a little bit of context for the viewers?
Yeah, go
yes,
for it,
do
go for it,
do
go for
that
it.
while I sort this out.
All right, so I'll give a little bit of context, and so there's been I've done some research, and so I'm going to let this speak for itself. Hold on, I got to get permission to share the screen here. Which screen is it?
You should
I think
have
it's this one
permissions,
here.
Sure.
Yeah, I know, but my browser is stopping it. So I'll give it a little bit of context to some of the viewers here. And there's been this ongoing sort of negativity towards the ham radio community.
The
And,
YouTube ham radio community.
The YouTube ham radio community.
Mhm.
And quite honestly, in my opinion, some ill-guided or spoken facts. So I'll just start to share with some of the hypocrisy of what we've seen over the years.
Brian, thanks for the super chat.
So here we see the advocate for amazing ham radio content creators saying that creators get free radios and get additional visibility because the companies may use their videos in marketing email, which builds their audience and can net them a pipeline of more views and affiliate purchases. It's not helpful. It's a money-making scheme. Talking about ham radio people, and I thought it was kind of funny because we had a ham radio prep that was paid for ad on this person's channel. And then we had from there.
What is ham radio prep? That's a service, right? That sponsors.
It's
particular,
ham radio prep. So I don't mind telling you that ham radio prep has paid me for sponsorships several times. In fact, you're going to see some new stuff next month. Ham radio prep is a licensing test prep service, technician general extra. It's not the only one out there. It may or may not be the best one because everybody learns differently. Mm-hmm. They have a free app you can download. They have a paid service. A lot of people don't like them because they're a paid service. Again. So
here's another one. And
cheap ass hams I talked about earlier. So it's not. I mean, it's yeah. Why can't I hear myself? Now I can hear myself. I'm thinking it's going to work now, Shane. Try right now.
So tell me if you can hear this.
Where is that?
Yes.
Hotel, Romeo Charlie.
Now, did anyone have any problems hearing my call sign?
Loud and clear. 5-9. You're 5-9.
Yeah.
5-9.
We're all hearing it. Yes.
Whiskey 2 Hotel, Romeo Charlie.
Yeah, the Whiskey 2 Hotel.
Whiskey 2 Hotel, Romeo Charlie. Good afternoon. Hey, got a great signal here in the North Texas. Just getting the site set up for field.
This is field day.
Right.
Everybody's trying to be supportive of field day, right? All right.
Field day. I got the buddy Hex talking to you on the DX Commander and the 7300.
Yep, sounds good. 5-9.
That was kind of short.
All right, yeah, 5-9 plus 10 on the peaks on my end. So 73, see you, Matt. Thanks for being out there.
No.
7-3 QRZ.
Wow.
So the loud voice you have there, Shane.
Now
right.
he had 5 to 7 minute conversations with everybody else he's talking to that day.
Yeah, so I'm going to come back to that.
Okay.
While you guys talk amongst yourself, I'm going to come back to where we were ignored.
Yeah. So Mike was in there. I was in there. I don't remember. Was Frank in there? Did you get Frank too?
Shane was in there.
Okay. So, yes. Yeah. It was... The problem is, so Chuck just showed up in the chat. The problem was this guy didn't have a Chucky X, so he couldn't really hear that well. Trying to play devil's advocate. That's probably why it was.
Now,
No
Shane,
Chucky
that
X.
video,
You're being too kind.
that you gave the Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Charlie call after numerous failed contacts. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let me make sure this is. Can you guys hear this?
Yeah, you as well. 7-3. This is
Yes.
Kilo
Can y'all hear that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So here was the initial call.
0 Lima Whiskey Charlie QRZ.
Okay, so that was me, K5QBF. I don't think that was terribly hard to understand. And the operator agrees.
The Kilo 5 again.
Kilo 5 station.
Kilo 5, Quebec, Bravo, Foxtrot. Got you 5-9, great signal in the North Texas.
5-9, great signal in the North Texas.
I think he sees your Z page right now.
Until we see who it is.
I think it was ending in Echo.
I think that 5 station was ending in Echo.
Was the station ending in Echo?
Nope.
No, I
No
guess
Echo.
I misheard that.
Oh, yeah,
QRZ.
you did.
Kilo 5, Quebec, Bravo,
K5QBF. Nope, we're gonna ignore that.
Was it Lima?
Yeah, it was Lima. Exactly.
Shane.
Kilo 5
Shane, I
Bravo
gotta stop you.
Foxtrot sounds like Lima.
All right, guys, hold on. Time out.
We'll
We have
remove
to-
the double.
Whoa!
Yeah, we got to throw
Holy
that
shit.
out.
Our buddy,
Oh
our
my
buddy
God.
Scout. 1,001 reasons why
All right,
this
Scout.
guy is funny, awesome, and a dear friend. But he says it all, I think, right here, guys. This is yet another example why Wisconsin is way better than Minnesota. Wisconsin, me, T.O., Michael, VBR, Minnesota, him.
I rest my case.
But he's not the only him in Minnesota. Let's just say that.
Scout.
But Scout.
Scout, thank
put
you.
it-
Scout, if you're
Sauce
drunk,
The-
Scout,
the
if you're
red lights
drunk
have already gone off.
or you hit 2 zeros by accident, let us know and we'll take care of you. Okay?
Yeah, we'll
Like,
refund that.
Or
We'll make it right.
or if Scout is serious, I would like to show the same video on my stream coming next Sunday night. So, and be sure that Scout, and
There
be
we
sure that
go.
Scout is there.
So let me make sure you guys can hear this one. This was another example.
okay, hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
We echo when you have your screen on.
Okay.
So we need we all should mute our microphone so we can hear this clearly.
Okay. So here we go.
Oh, they're out of the mobile. This is K0LWC QRZ.
Kilo 8, Mike Romeo Delta.
Okay, so did anyone have any problem understanding who that was?
Loud and clear.
I heard
It's the only signal I heard.
Right? I heard a K8 MRD, Kilo 8
Right.
Mike Romeo Delta. All right, so let's see what the operator heard.
Ending in Bravo.
Yes, it was ending in Bravo. Because Delta and Bravo sound the same.
There
sound
was
the
another.
same.
There was another station in there that ended in Bravo.
Okay, so who was the loudest?
When the first one wasn't the loudest one, but yeah, he was in there.
This is K0LWC QRZ.
Kilo 8, Mike Romeo Delta.
I didn't hear Bravo.
Let it keep playing.
Okay,
Ending in Bravo.
that was at the tail end, and it was down in the noise.
And it was not. It's not as loud. as
Okay,
No.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Oh, they're out of the mobile. This is
Okay.
K0LWC QRZ.
So that
Oh,
was
boy.
interesting. Things that make
You
you
know.
say,
I was gonna say you still didn't play the best one.
Sometimes you hear them, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
Was there a Mike Lima station in there?
yeah, we're working on that one. I got it pulled up.
Now, hang on. Shaq and Greg is just kind of just letting everybody know what's going on here with Scout.
Oh my god.
Our buddy Greg.
Oh God! All right, so make sure y'all can hear this.
Thanks so much. 7-3 QRZ.
Everybody can hear it.
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
Kilo Charlie 5, Hotel Whiskey Bravo. 5, Hotel Whiskey Bravo.
Okay. Who do you think that was?
Jason.
Hotel Whiskey Bravo.
I mean, granted, there was some interference in there, but
Yeah.
clearly here.
5, Hotel Whiskey Bravo.
Yeah, the Mike Lima.
Yeah, the Mike Lima station.
There was no Mike Lima.
There was no Mike Lima
there was no
station
Mike.
anywhere
Not even
remotely
close.
near it.
At least with Mike, he had someone else coming in there. With mine,
Right?
he just made up
He's
something.
like,
I was like,
Mike
yeah,
Lima
I'm
station.
not answering that guy. Oh my god! Wow.
No. Okay. That's it.
Thanks so much.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
I have something to say about this guy when you're done, Shane.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. So
I've already showed the fact that when you change the I didn't play the whole clip. Let me play the whole clip. So
All right.
for those that may not know, I use the club call sign, the Whiskey 2 Hotel Romeo Charlie, which he hasn't blocked on any of his social medias. And so this was the exchange, right? This was the exchange on there, and I was no louder than Jason or Mike, and this was the response that I
Same
got.
station.
Yeah, same station, frequency, everything.
Where is that?
Whiskey 2, Hotel Romeo Charlie.
Yeah, the Whiskey 2 Hotel.
Whiskey 2, Hotel Romeo Charlie. Good afternoon. Hey, got a great signal here in the North Texas. Just getting the site set up.
It was at this moment
he
he realized who he was talking to.
Yeah.
He's like that
Yeah,
guy.
sounds good. 5'9".
Oh yeah, you're
All right,
you're
yeah,
fine.
5'9", plus 10 on the peaks on my end. So 73 to you, Matt. Thanks for being out there.
7-3. QRP.
7-3 bye. Yeah. So anyway, just saying, if you're out there on the ham bands,
Don't share all our deets.
just
You know what?
Just be friendly.
I
Just be friendly.
everybody has the right to their own opinion and the right to say whatever they want to. It's okay. It's all right. You don't have to agree with me. It's okay. But if you're going to, and I'm speaking as a YouTuber right now, not as a ham radio operator. If you're going to badmouth other YouTubers, shut the hell up. I
Shut up.
mean, you know, it's just, it's
Get a
not,
hobby.
you don't have to agree with people. You don't have to like what they're doing. And that's okay. That's all right. It's not a problem. But there is no reason to try to make an ass of yourself to get more views by bad mouthing other people. What other people are doing with the hobby.
That's
So-
right. That's
Bingo.
That's all.
Bingo.
I'm
You
about.
know, he gets my blood pressure up sometimes, but I would still answer his call and give him a signal report.
Absolutely.
I was
But-
gonna when I
No
when I
problem.
called him, I was gonna say, "Hey Matt, thanks for being out there. You have an excellent signal in the Texas.
And he
Good luck
did.
on field day 73." That's all I was
Which
gonna
is
say.
And you know what that
exactly
is?
I said.
That's
Yeah.
being a gentleman.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
being a gentleman.
I
So-
have no problems with that dude on the air. I just just
Well,
Just
delete
everywhere else.
delete as in the famous words of the DX commander. Delete your effing internet clown.
Yes.
Okay, you know.
Yes. Thank you,
That's
Callum.
fine. Yeah,
Yes.
well,
Absolutely.
here,
yeah.
Yeah.
somebody sent me this. I'll just share it here. So it says, "This guy must have me confused with other ham tubers. Never have, never will." Talking about asking people for money, and it's very funny that there's a support me link on his link tree here.
Yep.
A little hypocritical. There's another one that really hits it home. Just kind of just divisive conversations that we've seen, and comments that it just really get under your skin. It just says, I'm not even a main, like, I don't have people donating. Like, I'm a joke of a YouTuber, right? So, like, just kind of like, you know, this bashing here saying, because hams attend a video conference or read an article that told them thumbnails with emotive faces get more clicks equals more cash in their pockets, known as YouTube face. It's clickbait attaining its human form. And sort of, you know, talking crap about YouTubers, and then meanwhile, I don't
They're
know.
doing the exact same thing.
I don't know. Look at the eyes there. Look at the face here. Oh my goodness, what the hell did he see in that picture? It must be really cold. This is two-faced, pompous ass commentary that somebody has, and it's disgusting and it's divisive. It's divisive when you ridicule ham radio operators because they buy a Baofeng. I'm sorry,
Right.
not everybody has the money that you have.
To buy a
But you know,
Motorola.
it's about whatever it takes to get in the hobby, and you know, there's just been so much divisive commentary from this individual, and it's spewed over to just being really disrespectful. And I'm quite frankly done with it. And nothing that I've said is false. Nothing that
No,
it's
right.
all documented. It's all there. The receipts are all over the internet. Listen,
Well,
when you
and-
talk
and
when you
it's
talk
rolled
about other
over-
people who are. When you talk about other people who are fame whores, and then you go put a billboard of yourself on a fucking highway, I'm sorry.
So,
Get a life.
Molson, what I'm hearing is we're all buying electric vehicles.
Right.
I don't know, I'm just so tired
mean,
of pompous ass.
I do wanna-
all of us,
Sorry, I had to do
we've
it.
we've all helped each other out There's not
Yes.
one channel that is amongst the group that you've seen on any of your Monday night, Thursday nights, Wednesday nights, Tuesday nights, or Thursday. There's not one channel that has supported each other. There are a few channels that are out on the outskirts that want to decide to have a pissing contest against it. And I'm sorry, we don't do that. We're all friends here, and we're all here to promote the hobby. If you want to be that person, you're going to be out there by yourself. I'm sorry.
And he's
Shane,
welcome
did
on
you
the
see
show.
the beer glass I
anytime.
was rocking tonight?
So
That's
I want
right,
to address something. This ADHD Life, that's an excellent YouTube handle, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And he's been in my chats before. He says, does he monetize his videos? ? If so, he needs to settle the F down. Let me. You're not wrong. But let me be clear here, because I liked my biggest thing is calling a spade, whether it's good, bad, right, wrong, or good, bad, or ugly. I don't care. YouTube forces you to monetize your videos now. They changed this about a year and a half.
Whether you want to or not.
Whether you
Or
want
not,
to
yeah,
or not.
exactly.
Or whether you get money from it or
YouTube
not.
forces you are going to see, unless you have like YouTube Red or YouTube Premium, whatever they call it now, you are going to see ads on every video that you watch on YouTube. Sometimes the content creator gets percentage of that, sometimes not. So every channel is monetized. You either have a choice to not partake in that monetization or to partake of that monetization and do whatever you will with the money. So when YouTube made that change a couple years ago, Charlie and Adam were both like, "Oh, well, I don't want to monetize my stuff." I'm like, "Here's what you guys need to do. Monetize it. Turn all your stuff on and take that money and donate it to a local club or the ARRL or some other kind of, hey, get on the air type thing. If you don't want to keep the money for yourself, you've earned the money. Keep it for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you don't want to keep the money for yourself, for the clubhouse, if you don't want to keep the money for yourself, donate it to a ham radio something, a ham radio group of some sort. So, yes. So just, again, I'm not defending what this jackass does. Okay. What I'm saying is, don't think that monetization of videos is something he can control, because it's not. So,
Right.
And that's true for everybody.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So this side of the radio is not monetized because I haven't met the criteria yet. But my viewers get showed ads.
Correct.
That I have no control over.
Yes. What are you lacking on? You're lacking on watch hours, right?
Yeah. I have about 300 watch hours to make it.
Same.
So everyone go pick out one of Shane's videos, whatever it is.
Play it over and over.
Put
and
it on
over.
loop.
Repeat.
Click play, put it on loop, and go to sleep tonight.
Or I could just upload more videos.
I want in on that too. So add my
Go
playlist.
to Joe
too,
Breck.
please.
Yeah.
Tomorrow
I'm
night.
actually-
Tomorrow night. Do Joe Breck's channel.
Yeah. So
Let's see.
Carlos.
I'm at 3,920 out of 4,000. So
Yeah.
you
You're
remember
very
when Tank
close.
Radio was like,
Yeah.
I'm this close? I feel like
Yeah.
Tank now.
Like, you're
And
this
Adam
close.
makes a great point, guys. Adam makes a great point, and for the vast majority of the YouTubers, the ad dollar is marginal at best. YouTube is not a place where you can easily make good money,
Right.
support the family. It's a hobby. This is the
Correct. Yep.
hobby of, and Jason's point too of following through are, if you don't want the money, consider doing something else. Forward that money to something
Right.
else, whether it's in the hobby
I
or
mean,
whatever.
I could show you guys all day long. Those of you who want to know, the Clubhouse on a live stream makes about 35 cents on ad revenue. Maybe,
Right.
Unless Scout
maybe $1.
75 is in the chat.
Unless Scott's in there.
Unless-
The super chats, the buy me a coffees, that makes the difference.
Yeah,
But
correct.
we don't depend on
ads-
ad revenue.
yeah,
The ad revenue is literally $1.
Most
if
of
that,
your
on a 2 hour episode.
right. Most of your YouTube gurus, there's guys out there who have channels that tell you how to build a YouTube channel. My favorite one is Sean Cannell. If you go watch Think Media, Google the channel.
I
Think.
like him.
If you have
Yeah.
if you have an interest in creating a YouTube channel for anything, I don't care. Keyboard reviews. Go create a channel for keyboard reviews. It doesn't matter what it is. Go watch Sean Cannell at Think Media. He says, and a lot of them say this. Tim Schmoyer says this. Daryl Eve says this. They're like, don't rely on YouTube ad revenue is like an afterthought. It's great. Hey, that's an extra stream of income. Cool. Rely on these other things instead. So YouTube ad revenue is not that much usually. However, for my channel, I actually do quite well on ad revenue. So I'm just going to say that too. But so I appreciate you guys watching my stuff. But
Your channel's at how many viewers now? I mean, I see the play button.
Subscribe.
behind you.
I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now. Sean Cannell says this, and he's absolutely 110% correct. Subscriber count is a vanity metric.
I agree.
Does not matter.
Yep.
It does
You
not.
can have
There are
140,000 people who, but if they only
Right.
watch 30 seconds of your videos, you ain't gonna make shit.
Right. If you have channels with 1.5 million subs that get 20,000 views a month.
Yep.
And you have channels with 10,000 subs that get 1.5 million views a month. The views and the watch time are much, much, much more important than subscriber count.
Yeah.
So guys, watch Shane
So,
and let's get Joe Brett. Let's get both those channels up with watch hours.
That doesn't mean that subscribers mean nothing. It's just that as far as monetization goes, it's a vanity metric.
Well,
I'd love to have 1.5 million subscribers right now. You guys go subscribe to my channel,
exactly.
please. But
And-
it really
and
doesn't mean anything. It's just
everything
something
on
cool
the
to look at.
Clubhouse. Those of you who have subscribed, who have donated your super chats, all that, they go right straight back to the community. We gave away the icon or the Yaesu FTDX10 or FT710. God, I don't know the number. Yeah. And we gave away the
DX Commanders. We've
DX
given out Commanders.
Yeah,
We've given
and the
power
FT
supplies,
500.
feed lines with it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
KM4ACKs.
that's where all the
right.
the six of us that are in here all the time, we don't make money off of this.
And
all the money that comes in here goes right straight back to you guys.
And
we
you know, so
afford to
I gotta
purchase.
feel from my buddy Mike K. Umry. He's talking about eating peanut butter sandwiches on cheese balls on wheat bread, buddy. It's when you're eating it on raisin bread, then you know things are really have gone tough.
Oh,
You're
wow.
doing raisin bread.
Raisins. Oh.
I was gonna say, Mike, are you saying you need more pretzels?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mike, you need more pretzels?
Bill Myers, thanks for the $10 super chat. We
Thank
really
you,
appreciate
Bill.
it.
We appreciate it. Yep.
It's we're 2 hours and 11 into it. We should probably wrap this thing up for you, for those of you, so we don't run too late. But I'll start off with Jason. What do you got coming up, and what's next on Ham Radio 2.0?
Hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate that. Yeah, I was answering Lawnmower. Lawnmower asks, doesn't viewer engagement have a big part with both live streams and videos? Yes, it does. The more you guys comment in live chat and more importantly on the regular, if you put a comment on a regular video or even a live stream after it's ended, yes, that's absolutely correct. So I've got a couple of cool things coming up this month. Amazon Prime Day is going to be a thing on my channel, live streaming that day. It's July 11th and 12th, I think that's right.
Okay.
Doing my Buddy Hex build, probably be up next week, and a couple more things coming up. I got some cool battery boxes that I'm going to be reviewing, and that's pretty much it right now. I've got 2 or 3 other things I'm working on that I haven't nailed down yet, but
nice.
Cool announcement on my email list tomorrow, hamradio2.com/email-sign up there. And I'll be going live tomorrow as my regular Wednesday night lunchtime live stream. In fact, if any of the 5 of you are available at noon tomorrow, 1700 UTC tomorrow, let me know. Love to get you guys on the channel.
I had the pleasure of working tomorrow.
Yeah,
from
but thank you.
6 a.m.
I know you're
from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. So
I don't know. Your schedule is always changing.
terrible.
I never
It's
know what it is.
terrible.
Yeah. So
Hopefully
cool.
that'll change soon.
Thank you
Jody,
for
thank you.
Thank you for
Jody.
having me tonight, guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining
Thank
us.
you
Jason,
for coming
thank you.
in.
Always
And
fun.
Jody, thanks for the $12 Canadian from Molson's Field Day Safety Cow High Viz Safety Vest.
Did you see the picture that he created?
I did. And if you want to see that picture, in the description of this video is a link to the K5YVY and Friends Discord.
I don't know how much
Join us over
YVY is left in that Discord, but
And Jody
That's where
did
it
send
started,
me.
man.
Jody did send me the video series for the Canadian Amateur Radio license.
Nice.
training.
Oh,
So
good.
thank you, Jody.
Good.
Yeah.
So Molson, over to you for final thoughts, wrap ups, and what's next.
Listen, I had a great weekend at Field Day. You know what? No one takes. I just want to say this. No one takes joy in people who are divisive, and I really hope that we would have the opportunity to see a better side of individuals, not just the keyboard warrior side. And I hope that we, as a community, we can grow and bring something better to the hobby. And honestly, if Matt ever wanted to come on the show, sure, come on.
Absolutely.
Come on the show. You know,
open invitation.
Like, you know, like we have no, we call out your bullshit, but we don't hate you. Not like you hate us.
Yeah.
Not at all.
You know,
we want to know the why behind that. Behind that.
Again, yeah, he has the right to say whatever he wants to say.
Absolutely.
We do not want to silence or cancel him, but I would like to tell him to shut the hell up a few times. So yeah,
yeah.
Shut up and sit down.
Yeah, I want to know why you're saying that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
God damn it, Bobby.
have a good week, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Daniel.
Gonna play some radio next week. I got our local volunteer fire department has its fundraising carnival this coming week, so I'll be doing parking. That's my gig. I park them, stack them, and rack them. But I do want to say thank you to Jason, Kyle, everybody who's producing some great live content out there, from Frank to Matt. I mean, there's so many, and I don't want to leave out names, but I have fun whether I come on the show or whether we're in the chat. I think I'm probably speaking for a lot of people. We have fun. It is really, I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. This is my fun. So I just want to say thanks to everybody who goes that extra mile to put up these live shows and the trivias and everything else. And it's just so fun to watch. So 7-3, and I'll be keep on smoking my cigars.
Shane,
over to Joe Brett.
I didn't make anybody cry, did I? Where's the box of Kleenex?
We got to get together and smoke some cigars together, Don.
Yeah, we are long overdue, guys. We are very long overdue. So, yeah. Joe Brett, what do you got going on?
man, I don't know. I just as the day comes and whatever floats my boat that day, I'll participate, I guess. I took some video during the field day, some recorded video that won't be pixelated when it comes to you. And I went back and looked over it, and I'm like, how do I make a video out of all these little segments? But not as good as I had planned, because, I'm thinking working the radio, let's go get some food off the grill. I'm not a professional like these big guys you see running around 90-0 at Hamfest. So I still got to get that thought process going, but we'll make something out of it, and we're just going to enjoy each day as they come. And this is the group of kind of folks that I like to hang out with.
Excellent. Steve?
Yep. So I'm working on the videos on the trailer, the videos on the champion generators, on why not to buy them for amateur radio. Yeah.
Be interested to see that, because I have a couple of those. So I'm curious on your thoughts. Seriously.
Yeah. Ironically enough, it was non-resonant antennas that were the bigger problem with those, which blew my mind. The full build out on why we went with what we went with in the trailer.
Usually is the antennas or the radio.
Yep. I did have somebody reach out to me about something with hammers, and I need to finish that video. I did a quick and dirty screen capture while I was walking through Walmart for him, but I need to actually do the video and do the voiceover for it.
Hammers in Walmart.
So
wait till the video. I'm just saying it's interesting. Keep going.
One of my brothers in this live stream right now sent me an email and said, "Hey, how do I do this?" Or I got this question, so he threw it over to me to do the video, so I'll get it done. That'll probably be the next video that comes out.
Nice.
I may have two for the Monday night live stream, or Monday night ham radio.
Two videos in 6 months?
Two videos on one night, brother.
Oh man, it's gonna snow. It's gonna snow.
It's gonna snow in
hell's
July.
gonna freeze over.
Dude, I can't get two videos in 1 year done.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I want to say shout out to Evan with the $10 super chat. Overlanding for fun. Thanks for becoming a new member. Kilo Zero Hospital Brian, 6-month November membership. Don, 6-month November ship. Steve with the 556 donation. Thank you, sir. Vern 6 with the $10. Great point, Jason. The band's up and down. The call signs are hard to hear. Jason KB1 WSC with a 338. Scott with a 2 months membership. Thank you so much. Evan with the again with the $5 donation. Thank you so much. Digital Rancher with the $10 donation. Brian WM 8 Golf $4.99 for the donation. Scout 75 $200, man.
We salute
Blows me
you,
away. That's awesome. Norm with the $5 and Bill Miller with the $10 super chat. Jody with the the $12 Canadian. Thank you so much. And Andy Cowley, who won the FTM 500 with the 6-month membership. Thank you guys so much.
Shane, real quickly.
Mhm.
We forgot everything.
my
13 colonies, guys, starting on Saturday.
That's
July
right.
1st, July 7th, the bands. This is a fun one, guys. It's so easy. It's
It's easier for you from Connecticut. It's not that easy out here west, man.
Oh, ham harder and tell the
Yeah.
antenna boy to point the antenna.
I need to I need to hire an antenna boy.
You have Frank. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Frank hasn't built my DX Commander for me yet.
All right. So Jason for the $10 super sticker and Ed for the 730. Thank you so much. We appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Jason.
We are getting ready for the 13 colonies. For those of you who have not participated, fantastic event. More details
Great
over in the Ham Radio Clubhouse YouTube. I'm sorry, Discord channel. Join us over there if you haven't already. Links are down in the description. So I'm gonna say 73. Anybody else got anything they would like to add?
73.
All right,
I'm at
73.
380 subs. I need 1,000.
Good night,
73.
everybody.
Yeah.
Go.
Get. Good night, Matt.
That sad ham is a colony all by himself.